Welcome, everybody, to the CrossFire podcast, and thank you so much for waiting. There's just certain weeks that we get started a little bit later. I don't know who the genius was that came up with the idea that Fridays at 6 o'clock was a good idea. That was your boy, Mooch. So listen, here's the thing. Not necessarily one of my best and brightest ideas. People are always coming home from work. I got people still coming to the show as we speak, stuck in L.A. traffic. Shout out to my boy, Southbound and Down. But let me go through with some of the people. You guys all know the usual suspects. Let me hit you up real quick with some of our special guests. Some you know from Console Corner here. Let's start with Brutal. Brutal, welcome to the show, bro, and thanks for doing it.
Of course, dude. I'm always happy to come on and fill in whenever you need a little bit of extra something on the show. Well, I'm glad you could lower your standards to bring me on.
Listen, let me tell you something. You can say that, Brutal, but here's the thing. We're really going to be – we only have you for a short period of time, but we are going to utilize you. I'm going to be going to you a lot heavy in the beginning. So if you need a drink – during the rest of these intros, make sure you get yourself a nice vodka tonic.
Right now.
Hey, brother,
I'm drinking.
I'm saving myself. I'm gonna crack my cherry after this show's done. I'm saving myself.
I start at the. You see, Brutal. That's how I know you're younger than me because I'm starting at the podcast and I roll right through. That's what me and Brutal got in common. We both got the same blood alcohol level. All right, I love it. So listen. Let's go to my next guest here who doesn't need any introduction. He will now be known as the governor of all indies, GKB. What's up, buddy? How are you?
What's up, Mooch? Yeah, man, I got your message like coming on the Crossfire, and I thought to myself, I was like, man, I don't know if I can go through another debate like we had.
Fight.
How great was it, though, GKB? We were getting tons
bro.
and tons of messages the past 2 days.
Oh, it was fantastic, man. I always love that kind of stuff, man. So
well, listen, GKB and I are both expecting one hell of a Christmas present from the Crap Gamer. What's up, Crap?
Yeah.
Hey, como estás, bitches? Somebody just said that in the chat box. I forgot all about that. That was one of my intros. I think
it's your best intro, to be honest with you. I love it.
I'll go, como estás, bitches? El Crap Gamer here. And then I'm like, well, yeah, what's up? I remember one time I got too much food. I was like, give me some Spanish.
Did it piss food off?
No. Food thought it was hilarious. I was like, give me some Spanish words to say, and I'm going to say it. And I was just like totally suck at saying anything in Spanish. So
well, listen, the reason I laugh so hard, Crap, at it is this. Everybody knows I'm 100% American, but I'm an Italian American, right? So like my whole family's off the boat. We when we do speak Italian, we speak proper Italian. But I took 4 years of Italian in high school, which was just lucky for me that my high school offered that because it was like a freebie class. But here's the thing. Even Italian Americans, which is what reminds me of your intro, you do it so American. You put zero effort into sounding Spanish. Como estas, bitches? Like, there's no way that is any more American direct, which is great. It is so great. So I appreciate it and want to say, please do that more often.
You know what? Like, what's his name? I think I got that from the first Anchorman movie because,
yes,
I think it's Ben Stiller is playing a Spanish guy, and he goes, "Como estás, bitches?" Like that. It is so out of place, but I thought it was hilarious, so that's why I was doing it. I was like, oh yeah, that's where I got that from. So, yeah, very much so, and it's always good to be here on a Friday because hey, I ain't got shit else to do. So,
hey, listen, somebody in the chat's telling me my sound is bad. Is my anybody else in the chat?
Fine to me.
All right, Johnny Werned. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. But hopefully, if anyone else is having a problem with my mic in the chat, let me know because I want to make sure the audience can hear me. As far as I know, the panel's okay with it. But let me move on to my next panel member here. Someone who needs no introduction, and God damn it, he has quit his job, everybody, just to post Forza Horizon 3 pictures. It's Xbot448. I hope your family's not hungry right now. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Yo, I just want to say, starting today, I'm introducing Hyper Xbot 448.
Nice.
I just got my Cloud X's. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the podcast, if there's any difference, but yo, these things are absolutely amazing, man.
Okay, well, listen, I got news for you. You sound amazing, and She-Wolf's telling me I sound amazing, so this show is going to go on flawlessly. No, I appreciate that, She-Wolf. Thank you for the confirmation. Apparently, Johnny B. Weird can't hear so well in the chat. But,
hey, Mooch, real quick, I put out a poll yesterday. I was like, are you team Mooch, are you team Crap, or are you team M&C? And M&C won.
By a landslide.
Came in second. How do I come in last on my own poll?
Yeah, listen, here's the thing. Look, we all know this crap. First of all, I'm proud of everybody for letting the M&C win first and foremost, because that's a brand that me and Crap are not really trying to just grow, but we're hoping the audience falls in love with because we got good chemistry there. But
they want to make out with it.
You got absolutely, Crap. But here's my thing. What you got to understand, though, is that the Mooch Maniacs are insane. And I love every one of them. I love every single one of them. But, Crap, even you do know that, right? I mean, I think even Food came on one time on Xbox Nation, and we were having a bit of like a debate me and GKB had just the other day, and I got this ridiculous DM from Food. He says to me, Mooch, do me a favor and please call your people off me. I go, I don't even know what you're talking about. He's like, you just had a simple discussion on Xbox Nation, and I've got every last Mooch Maniac up my ass all day today. So listen, that's what happens, Crab. You put a poll out there, you're going to get the Mooch Maniacs come out there. They're out there with pitchforks and knives. So listen, let's talk about, and I'm going to go down the panel here, but I got to get something off my chest. Tonight's a big night for me because it's been a while since we actually went down Mooch Boulevard and we actually kind of talked about, well, we haven't talked about media bias nearly as much as I usually have because let's be honest, the past 4 to 8 weeks have been the media squandering and being like, kind of like licking their chops because they fucked up and took Sony's side, and now Microsoft's got this great plan and path forward with the S and Scorpio. Phil's doing all kinds of these great interviews with IGN. It's just been amazing. But then something happened yesterday. Something happened on Polygon and something happened on IGN, and it was what we all will refer to as the largest ass-kissing and media bias I've seen in the past 12 months. The PSVR kits have been sent to the media, folks, okay? And I've never seen such ridiculousness and irate behavior. So listen, I got a lot to say, but I don't want to leave the panel out. Brutal, have you caught any of these videos?
I've seen some of them, man.
Well,
I saw a highlight video, if you will, people pointing out. I can't remember who it was, and forgive me. I want to say it may have been Jamie.
It was Jamie. He's one that's like got 50 gifts out right now.
They were talking about comparing the Kinect. Yeah, it was Jamie. You're right. Comparing the Kinect wires with the PSVR wires, and it's true though, bro. I mean, like if you compare the two, that like from what they said about the Kinect, I mean, if you look at them like apples to apples, it's astonishing, really, man. I mean, all the shit that's come out with the PSVR lately is stuff that I think a lot of people. I don't think that people are going to say, or we're going to see that people saying that it's going to cause eye disease and eye issues and things like that.
You're going to vomit from your eyes.
Yeah, like motion sickness. And things. I think
you would see that YouTube video.
I mean, because people were getting motion sickness and things like that when they were testing it out at E3 and whatnot, correct?
Absolutely. Actually, as a matter of fact, it was, I don't believe it was the PSVR, but IGN did a further follow-up just because now they're just pushing VR hard with the holidays coming up. You can tell somebody's got some money going into their pockets. And they did a drive simulator game. I believe it was using Oculus. It could have been Vive, but I think it was Oculus. And like you saw Marty Sleva in complete sweats. He didn't look good. He didn't look good. And some of them tried to be like fake and be like, oh, that was a great experience. You can see they were about to like yak. Naomi Kyle looked like distorted and her normal self presented.
I was going to say,
just a mess. So it is what it is. But like my biggest beef here, and guys, chime in, please. This is not just about my feelings on this. Was that the hypocrisy is sometimes hidden, and we have to point it out on these Xbox shows. But sometimes it's just plainly in your face. The Brian Altano video with Max Scoville is one that will go down in infamy.
Yeah.
They had 85 wires out, okay? They were showing this piece of shit headset that they were like, looks so futuristic and so great and so well crafted. Yet when they opened it up, a piece of plastic went flying out onto the floor. They're like, did we break it? Did we break it? Yeah, you broke it. And I don't know if it was necessarily I could say it was their fault or if it was actually more along the lines of it's just a piece of shit. Either way, it is.
It didn't look like they were pulling on it that hard.
It didn't. It really didn't. And I don't even want to defend them, but it didn't look like they were doing anything that like rough and tough to it. But the other thing that was going on, I kind of want to hit a broad base and then we'll speculate. Polygon did one, And they were very, you know, they had these two guys that I think combined were like 130 pounds soaking wet. Like, if you just pull on this button over here, it was almost like Mark Cerny was there instructing them. And they've he's telling the other guy, he's like, you don't have to take your glasses off. I found that the PSVR is the best headset for people that wear glasses. Well, let me tell you about people that wear glasses, and this is coming from someone that doesn't wear glasses. All of my friends that do, they wear contacts. Okay, they wear glasses when they're at home at night, tucked in bed, reading a book to fall asleep. Very few people are wearing glasses all day, so that's like an irrelevant way. Like, excuse me, sir, excuse me. Which one of these doesn't give me the best graphical capability or the best feeling of really being there? I wear spectacles, and I would like to know which one of these is best for my forehead. No, nobody gives a shit, dude. The point of the matter is that the PSVR is a piece of garbage. It's giving you PS3 graphics with a fake-like simulation of real life.
Did you see him like pull out all the wires and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, that's not too bad.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
About that, yeah, I thought of a new name. I want to call it octopus migraine. Is what I want to call it. That's exactly what's going to happen. You know, you got tentacle wires coming out the box when you put it on. You know, you play with it for a while. Like Crap said, you're going to throw up out of your eyes. You know, there's studies going on with VR that are showing like even like long-term damage now. All right, and now we're talking about the lowest like rung on the ladder here. What do you think is going to happen to people who use this thing extensively? You know, like they're going to come out cross-eyed and talking backwards.
Let's do a shout-out. I like to give credit where credit's due, and then GKB, I'm definitely going to point the arrow to you here in a second. My point being is that I really think that the Red Dragon did a great video yesterday and saying what it would be and what the outcomes could be. And he was right. To be honest with you, you're kind of going into this blind, and I don't mean to make a reference there like that, but here's the thing. The studies aren't going to come out for 3 or 4 years on this. So that's a problem come, you know, maybe 3-4 years from now. GKB, by all means, take it away.
Yeah, man, like for me, I was watching the IGN. I didn't really see the Polygon one because I try and stay away from Polygon as much as I possibly can. But
Bravo.
The IGN one, when they were unboxing it, you got to be like concerned here when they're like just pulling on the strap and then pieces are flying off this goddamn thing. Like you're spending $400. They're saying it's a premium product and all this.
More than $400 if you want.
Like, well, yeah, if you want the move sticks and all that other kind of stuff too. Yeah, and just for that phone, like just literally taking it out of the box, that's a little concerning for you as a consumer, man. Like let's be honest here. And they didn't even go into like hooking it up, and they have this extra box. Like, how is this all going to fit together in your system there? And like, are you going to be tripping over these wires? And I got to be honest, like I thought the wires would be much longer than they are. So how much room are you actually going to have to move around? Yeah, like I don't know. There's just so much more questions that I want answered. And yeah, I have to say like the bias there is kind of a little ridiculous for the Kinect in that. You know, it's just a little out of their control there.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of problems here, okay? And shout out to Jamie Moran. One of the issues that I had was that the cabling, okay? There was a lot of bitching and complaining about the cabling. And let me just say, I don't know if he's ready yet for the intro, but our buddy Southbound is about to join us.
Oh!
Southbound and Down, are you here, brother?
Yeah, I'm here, live and direct. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What it do? How's everybody doing this afternoon?
Hey, South is racing around in the General Lee on Forza Horizon 3.
Hell yeah! I was like,
that's not a joke either.
You already know that.
Yeah.
Did you design that, South, or is that a car you can buy or get?
No. I just, you know what? There were several people that made some whack ass ones, and I picked the best one that whoever made it. So shout out whoever the guy that designed it.
Hey, South,
it looked like the one from the show.
If you want, I can make a Southbound original General Lee.
You
man.
better.
Just let me know.
You better make me like a Lambo. I don't. Come on, dog.
The General Lee.
General Lee. Hey, make me like an OG Mustang or something.
All right, I got you. I think I could put something together. Man.
I thought that was hilarious.
Make me something gangster. You know what I mean? Hit me with like a 6'4".
Yeah, I can never remember the guy's name, but since Crap does that "Como estas, bitches" in the beginning of his videos, I want him to. You got Southbound. Hear me out here. I want him to do like an El Camino. You know what I mean? I want him to have I want him to go all out, bro. Yeah. All out.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I'm telling you, listen.
You gotta have that Elko.
I am biting off so much right now. I have a list like the Xbox Pope. Shout out to Xbox Pope as well, yo.
Always, man.
Yo, we did a session. We had a fun session in Forza Horizon today. Didn't really do anything besides doing jumps and recording it with a drone. Had an absolute blast. It was him, me, Fuskies, and of course Xbox Pope's son. But yeah, he's on my case. He's like, when am I getting that Xbox Pope vinyl set? Like, I'm like, all right, man, you gotta tell me what car, you know?
Hey, you got to hook that guy up first, man. How many console, you know, and mock-ups and controllers has he done for everybody?
The Xbox
hey, that guy he better be at the head of the list, brother.
Yeah, definitely, man.
He's sinless, man. That's why I give him Xbox Pope, bro. I don't think he's ever done anything wrong in his life, to be honest.
I don't know. He's a little dirty in Forza, though, man.
Hey, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing, baby. That's all I gotta say.
This is what he said, though. He said, like, when that happens, like, he says, "May God be with you." Sprinkles a little holy water and keeps going.
That's my Pope.
And he does the sign of the cross.
There we go.
That's my Pope. No, listen, Southbound, you came in on a good time. Listen, we were just talking about a little bit of the I tried to refrain on CrossFire for the past maybe month and a half of the whole media bias thing, unless it came up in a particular subject. But tonight I had to put it front and foremost again. We had to come back to it because I know you must have seen the videos. It's out everywhere. There's memes and there's GIFs all over Twitter today, and I know you're all about it. Like, there's just a lot of hypocrisy right now between Polygon and IGN covering up the fact that we made such a big deal about the one Connect wire adapter, and yet we haven't said anything about the 17 cables that come with PSVR, and they're trying to make it sound like it's... You know what the guy... This is great. So I haven't said this yet. While it's on my mind, I got to say it. One of the guys from Polygon puts the headset on. First thing he goes is... The other guy goes, how does it feel? The guy's answer from Polygon, and I'm not quoting him, but I'm paraphrasing. He said, I could play this for hours. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You are a lying bastard. Are you out of your mind?
Anybody that can put a headset, I mean, come on, really. Even an ear headset gets tiring after, like an hour or so.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got to take it off a little bit or take one ear off. I mean, come on, don't be bullshitting me.
Well, hey, they get these things for free. What do you expect them to say? You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny your crap says that because that can't be any more than the truth, and we all know that. That's not like this is late breaking news, but crap, you're right. So when Brian Altano and Max Scoville broke the PSVR on their show, they're like, he goes, I think you broke it. He goes, who cares? It's the Office one. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even give a shit. Like, these guys, that's the other thing. Is
Hey, that $400 didn't come out of his pocket. That shit came special UPS direct from fucking Japan itself. And you know what I mean? Like,
with Yoshida.
I wonder if it accidentally had Greg Miller's name still etched in it.
They got their own.
Hey, that thing has kiss marks from Yoshida, before it was sent out.
They got their own. Kind of Funny has their own that they unboxed or whatever. So.
Oh, did they? I missed that. I did not see that. Which I'm not upset I missed it, but nonetheless.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure I didn't watch it.
Well, you would have heard, but you would have heard Greg cream his pants, and I'm
like, oh my gosh, this is so great, Colin. I think this is going to be really the thing that's going to really push PlayStation over the top.
Well, tell me your guys' opinion, okay? Let's leave the
bias thing. Hold on. Before you even move on to that, you just said push PlayStation over the top.
Yeah,
but they're already winning. I mean, what? How much more over the top can they be?
Well,
that's short-lived.
Technically, they're winning, right? But anybody that's been paying attention knows that they've been flip-flopping on numbers for a while.
Yeah.
They just released this Slim that Hardware Tech and Rand Outdoor has said this multiple times. New hardware iterations always sell, right? How many times have we heard that? Yeah,
that actually sounded really good. You sound like Rand right now.
You sound like Rand.
So listen. But then again, this thing's been out for weeks, the Slim, and hasn't sold anything. It's not even in the top 100 on Amazon. So I mean,
look, the Slim. Let's talk about that for a minute. That's something the audience needs to know our opinions on it. And here's my take on it. And then Southie and Brutal GKB, like all means, like just jump in, guys. Yeah. Like my point being here is this: the Slim was an utter mistake. Okay, it's a mistake, and what I'm waiting for is the crap that we've had to deal with since 2013 about all the mistakes we heard that Microsoft was hypothetically going to make that they never made. They never said DRM on stage. They never said you couldn't share games. They never said you couldn't use a physical disc. They never said that backwards compatibility wasn't officially coming, right? But those are the things that they were held against them, that they were going to have to ping your internet once every 24 hours.
And people still believe that.
Right, exactly. But yet to this day, is anybody going to ever say that the PS4 Slim might have been the nail in the coffin that stopped the upscaling and the upselling of the PS4? Because here's the thing. It's a $299 console that's missing out on the majority of items and features that the Xbox One S has, and it's the same price, and it took the optical out. Well, it's a huge catastrophe.
Mooch, taking the optical port out was a big mistake.
Yeah,
how could you do that?
I think what happened with that is they already had that set in place. They already were, they already got the chips and everything like that. I believe they just really got caught like with their pants down. This is where they were going. They were going to introduce this and then go with the Pro and all that good stuff. And then Microsoft just came in and just kind of like pulled the carpet out from under their feet. And they're like, oh shit, what are we going to do? We got to go through with this now. And now like they are on the bottom end of this whole thing. I mean, look how much more the 1S sold at launch compared to the Slim at launch.
Well, you know what? I'll directly quote Phil Spencer himself and talking about the Slim, the 1S, and he said, "This is what we should have launched."
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I kind of like agree with Xbot there is like the PlayStation 4, they were the market leader. They didn't really have to do much of anything. They were like, let's just do our traditional thing. Let's release a Slim. Let's take some stuff out. Let's make it cheaper, blah, 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 blah. And then Microsoft has this amazing E3. They show the Slim. It's doing 4K. It has the 4K Blu-ray. It's a sleeker, better design. All that kind of stuff, and then they announced the Scorpio, and I think Sony was like, "Oh shit! Like, what the hell are we supposed to do now?" Right? So,
you know, the funny thing is how much did we hear about 4K prior to E3, and the one that's coming out?
Not a whole lot.
We hadn't heard very much at all.
No.
And now you got 4K bundles, and I mean, like 4K is on everybody's mouth, like everybody's mind. It's on the tip on everybody's tongue.
Yeah.
Like Xbox has like pushed that, technology to the next level.
Well, I think what happened when it comes to 4K, I think like the companies that manufacture TVs and everything, they were swaying, everything to go 4K. You had consumers are buying 4K TVs now more than, when switching from the standard definition to high definition. Like 4K is becoming the thing. And now you have like that box that like really adopted it for having extra media that does the 4K. You have a total entertainment experience.
Yeah, but at the same time, no, you can't really compare, the analog to the high definition, because you're talking about the days when those TVs lasted 40 years. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My grandma still has an old school TV, and it has like a stereo in it and everything else, and that son of a bitch still works. I don't know how in the hell that is possible.
I think like going off of what South and what Xbox said, like the average consumer now is more educated, more tech friendly. I mean, not everybody's tech savvy, but that's right. They want the tech. People are more aware of technology. Technology is more accessible than when they were. Then the transition from standard definition to the 720, the original 720, or even to 1080. So 4K is more accessible, I guess. I mean, the price difference from 1080 to 4K doesn't fucking touch the price difference from going to standard to 1080, unless you're buying a fucking 80-inch LG OLED that's like
right. Well said. No, you're exactly right.
Listen, and let me use one of South's words. And I was talking to Rand, and I was seeing a bunch of the guys, and looks like Aaron and Papa, right? South Papa. They bought their like 65-inch, 75-inch OLED.
Papa Mikey.
Papa bought his big time. That shit's big. Listen, I got to be honest with you. So I've been looking at what they bought, and that's just a little too high for even where I want to go. I mean, they paid $6K.
Hey, man, I don't make $300,000 a year.
Yeah, you said that to I think you said that to Rand on TXR. You're like, I don't make Microsoft money. You know what I mean? You were like,
yeah, I mean, shit. You know what I mean? I don't pay close attention to them quarterly earnings. Like, yeah, we get a bonus.
Well, hear me out, guys. Tell me what you think here. This is a very, very hard thing for most people to say. Most people won't say this, but I will. And you cannot go by, I repeat, everybody, you cannot go by November, December sales, because the elitist PlayStation fans will do this. I think Sony fucked up more than you guys are actually reading into this. I think they fucked up so bad by having the Slim come out and this PS4 Pro. They've They've confused the public.
Don't say it.
Confused the public. Because here's the thing. The 4K, listen, ready? I'm Joe Blow, public guy. Hi, I'm looking for a 4K player. Does the PS4 Slim have it? No, sir, the PS4 does not contain it, but it has no optical port and does the same thing your other one does. Okay, I don't want that one. Okay, does the PS4 Pro have a 4K Blu-ray player? No, sir, it does not have a 4K Blu-ray. All right, I am done with you. At this point, what I'm saying is nobody in any store. Have you ever met a clerk at a store recently? Who's talking T-flops? Nobody. So my point being is nobody's going to say, no, but you really do want the PS4 Pro because it's got about 2.2 more T-flops. What did you say, Granny? No, listen, there's no way in God's green earth anybody knows what that is. I think the PS4 Pro is dead. That doesn't mean you're not going to see 2 or 3 million in sales the first couple of months because it is Christmas and you have the diehard elite people. But once January comes, people are going to be like, PS4 what? Like, Pro doesn't make any sense. It's not a big enough jump from the vanilla, and it doesn't have a 4K player. The Xbox One S kills the system. And you might go, well, Mooch, what's the deal, dude? You say Scorpio's coming out in a year. Isn't that confusing? No, a year is more than enough. You know what I mean? My friends bought
and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead,
they already gave us an upgrade already. Like I was just saying,
yes.
They're already doing the 4K now.
Guys,
they're getting everybody ready.
Here's why Microsoft was so smart
4K starter kit
with the release schedule that they have planned for the Slim and the Scorpio. Right? They have the entire demographic covered from the dad that wants to pick up a gaming system for his kids, that also wants to pick up the Blu-ray player, but nobody's really a diehard gamer. They cover that entire demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they also, once that starts dying down, everybody gets their hands on the Blu-ray player aspect because they can sell this Xbox One S as a 4K Blu-ray player on its own at the price that you can get it at $250. No, there's no problem selling it as a 4K Blu-ray player alone, right? Mm-hmm. So then, follow a year later, you have Scorpio come out, and then they're going to hit all the diehard gamers, all the power hungry gamers, the people that want the best of the best tech, the people that want the best gaming system. They're going to be getting the Scorpio, right? So they have all of their bases covered for the next 2 years of continuous sales.
Yes.
Not only that, like they have, hey, if you don't want to go to the Scorpio or you want to stay, you're happy where you're at, all your games are going to play on either one, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but all your old Xboxes don't have HDR updates getting pushed to them now, do they?
Well, neither do the old PlayStation.
I see what you did there.
Absolutely. To be honest with you, that's a good point. And listen, here's the thing. Sony has been making illegitimate promises. Nobody's calling it out. And I want to blend this into the next subject, but we don't have to leave where we are. I just want to bring this up. Xbox One S has been selling, I think I don't know if it's week over week, year over year, whatever it is in comparison, they're at 1,000% higher in the UK. Is that this past month?
Yeah, it was like, or it was like over a couple week period or something in the UK. Funny thing is, they had that bump at the same time as the Slim release for the PS4.
Yes.
So they completely buried the PS4 Slim, just utterly annihilated it. And people are just like, oh my God, like the damage control on NeoGAF and stuff is just unbelievable, where they always got to try to like break it down. Well, it's not that big a deal, like this, and this. You know what I mean? Just like,
yo, dude, not for any, I'm sorry, crap, but the market share at that point in time was 71% on Xbox and 18% on PlayStation. Like that's not that big of a deal, right?
Yeah, but my thing is,
that's not a big deal at all.
That's the same day that the news broke about the 1,000% and the weeks and the time frame that was involved with that. A little like blurb, that comes out every so often, usually during boring times in news. It said the blurb came out that Microsoft originally thought that Xbox One would sell 200 million units. You guys saw that, right?
Yep.
So, I saw a lot of hate for that. Like, go home, Microsoft, you're drunk. And all this stuff. I shit you not, dude. Like, there was all kinds of stuff. Like, what they didn't realize was, like, that was the headline that people ran with. But what Phil Spencer actually said was they had a goal and they were discussing how to hit that goal. I mean, whenever you go in this, they said nobody had ever sold that many consoles before, and they wanted to.
Right.
So I mean, like they made it all that sound nefarious or something, but in reality, they were just trying to figure out a way to mass appeal to a lot of people, and so that's what they tried to do. It wasn't like, we're going to sell 200 million. It's like that was a goal.
Of course, they took it on a contract.
Now speaking about what Phil Spencer's been saying lately, isn't it nice to hear that he's quelling people's fears that this thing is the Scorpio's going to cost like $700?
Me and Crap
he's basically saying, hey, it's going to be in line with what we're paying now for the 1S. You know, probably the 2 terabyte. You know, it won't be much more than 500.
Right,
you know?
right.
I'll say $499.
I still say you'll get a $499, but you're going to get a $399 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, because look at this, the Xbox One S, the 299, they're making $75 a piece off those things, so they got room to wiggle there. And then when you're talking about like I said, the PS4 Pro parts, they're managed to get a pretty powerful 4.2 teraflop console out for $400. Those parts, like Microsoft is probably going to pay the same price that Sony paid for the Pro parts for the better parts that they're putting in the Scorpio. So you're going to get something comparable to that. And also, Microsoft has in their back pocket this thing called external hard drive support, which Sony doesn't allow for some reason. So Microsoft knows that they could probably put something out 500 gig, 1 terabyte, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to go for the lowest amount of storage that's on board on one of these things because I don't need it. I've got 8 terabytes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'd say it has to be at least 2, the lowest.
I think you can go 1. I think you can go 1 easy.
I think if they're like trying to like bargain price it, they definitely probably would go like 500 or something like that, just to keep the price like low so it's competitive with the Pro.
No, and the reason I say that is because when you're talking about 4K, you're talking about a bigger disc, more memory.
Yeah, I'm going to go on record with Southbound. I got to agree with them. I think the minimum you could put out is 2 terabytes when we're going into that world.
No fucking way.
Nah, because you got external storage that you can get for like way cheaper. I mean, and the prices on that are going to go down too. So I see them going like a 500 one just to keep the cost down for sure.
Even if not 500, but even if not 500, then at least
there's no way. There's no way.
Now I know.
I'll make you a bet right now.
I'll
make you a bet right now that there won't be a $500. I mean a 5.
GKB is telling you right now, buy your Scorpio and you buy the swapper too. $699. It's coming. Listen, I got news for you. There's no way, guys. We're talking about it takes up way too much.
I'm telling you, those hard drives.
You are right. No, you guys are
prices extremely high.
I can't argue with you and GKB with your external prices. You're spot on. They're cheap as shit. So I can't argue with you. And that is still Microsoft's path forward. Agreed. But you've got to give people 2 terabytes going out the door. It's not that expensive.
Listen,
it will be. Look,
Microsoft is willing to take a loss. And in the beginning, the first year or so.
Listen, though, the 2 terabyte was $100 more than the 500 gigs. You know what I mean? Like, that's quite a leap.
Yeah, but you're not dealing with all the more high definition shit that's going to take on each disc and more memory and everything else is going to take to run these games.
You got to take into account too, South, like some of us that already have the external drives and all that kind of stuff. So that would appeal to more of us that already have like a 5 terabytes just sitting here. I don't need the extra 2
got 8.
I already got it.
Guys, what Pinello said when they came with about the pricing and stuff like that, I'm leaning towards Crap's area. Me and Crap actually agreed with the $500 one, but I also think there are going to be a couple variations. One with a lower amount of memory that's going to be about $100 cheaper. So
you have to do a $400 one.
I'm not going against that idea, but I'm just saying there's no way you can have a 500 gig.
Well, you could do a 1 terabyte then, because look,
that 500 it makes you think about last generation or whatever half generation.
Yes, I didn't know how to put it. Thank you for being so politically correct.
But just look at the Pro. Look at the PS4 Pro. That's only a 1 terabyte.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You 1 terabyte I'll buy into just because it says terabyte. You say 500 gig. I mean, it's like talking about a floppy disk again. You know what I mean?
Exactly. How many games on current platform right now can you put on a 500 gig hard drive? And I'm not talking about Crap who has 15,000 fucking gigs extra external.
Yeah, I'm
talking about just average Joe Blow that's going to go off the shelf and buy 2 games it's gonna fill up the hard drive. Because what you can have honestly on a bare bones 500 gig hard drive.
Gears of War's 80
about 10
gigs.
games.
Well, it's 80 on
games?
PC. It's 55 on Xbox.
Right, but 80 though crap is 4K. That's where we're heading,
Halo
right?
is over 80. Halo's
but Halo's got like
yeah. How many updates has it had?
Yeah, it's like 4 games
I have
right
to
now.
do my Halo plug. At least one
That
per
is
episode.
true.
Man. Come on now.
Yeah, you do have to do that. It's almost like you're on contract.
I get like the whole 4K textures and all that kind of stuff, and you're right, like that takes up more space. But you also got to understand too, like they're working on all the tools, the dev kits to help with the compression and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely,
with all that stuff too. So we still don't know what the actual file sizes are going to be on the Scorpio. So we still got to keep that in mind too. And
I say they're going to go up at least a quarter. At least a quarter.
Sure. They're going to go up for sure. Like, but all right. So what do they do like a 500 gig like SSD? Like we haven't even talked about that either. Like, so what do they? Like the Elite now like has the hybrid drive and stuff like that. So what do they go like full SSD with 500 gigs?
Oh my goodness.
I think you're getting into different, more experienced, more expensive territory.
Like, it's always the hardcore. They go out right away and buy these things at launch. So the hardcore, I would venture to say, all has external hard drives anyway. Like we all were like, let's wait for the one with the smallest hard drive because we don't want the larger hard drive because we have external hard drives. And most people like do so like and you want to sell to those hardcore right out the door. So I can see them really pushing a cheaper version of that.
You make a hell of a sales pitch, and I really can't argue with your sales pitch. You and GKB really
but that's the thing. We're the hardcore. We're not Joe Blow off the street.
That's what I was going to say. The problem
is you want to appeal to the casuals.
The casuals don't know about, hey, let me go look for a 3 terabyte external.
Need a variation that's lower price
I think the S is more to appeal towards the casuals.
It could be. I mean, it could. We're gonna find out. We're not gonna find out in a year. We're gonna find out in 2 years because we're gonna find out in 2 years how many people made the leap of faith to go into the 4K gaming world.
Yeah, and you're gonna see how many games you could fit on that 500 gig hard drive, the Scorpio. So you know what I mean.
That's why they have the external hard drive.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they just come out with the new Gears. That blue one looks phenomenal. Now they got red, white, and blue. That's phenomenal in my opinion, but 500 gigs. I mean, why 500 gigs when, that's basically nowadays, like Gears, Mafia, you're getting 5 games fit on there.
Isn't it funny? And I mentioned this on TXR. Everybody complained how the original vanilla Xbox One, how we didn't have so many different iterations of special consoles. Mm-hmm. Now we're 2 months into the Xbox One.
I actually almost got into a car accident. I was applauding you while you made this statement in TXR.
Everybody was complaining. Well, we didn't get this console. Well, we didn't get that console. How come we didn't get a Fallout console? Now it seems like every other week they're announcing different colors and shit.
I'm not gonna lie. That's saw awesome. The blue one.
I'm waiting to see Xbox Addict have every single color on his wall.
Xbox Addict,
what I mean?
Xbox Addict is gonna have every console that comes out this fall and also be in line for food stamps. That's crazy.
Xbox Addict's gonna call Aaron Greenberg and Phil Spencer back. Please no more, please.
Yeah, please stop.
You're killing me.
I'm trying to keep my museum up.
I already took enough equity out of my house. Come on.
I like the blue one, man. They're all Gears, like Gears centric. Because look, this is what we said. The Gears. The Gears custom one is very limited. So they have a white one with Gears and then the blue one with Gears as well. So I really like the idea.
They are going all in on Gears. All in.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yo, listen, I made this comment a long time ago, and my God, I said this so long ago that I was literally, I think it was definitely on BGST. I was almost laughed off the show. I said, I think Gears is the new Halo. And take it easy, Xbox. Put your seatbelt on.
I was. You know what? I was gonna say the same shit. And I don't want Xbox to get pissed off. But look at the marketing strategy for Gears this year compared to Halo last year.
It's right there, isn't it?
And it's like 3 times.
Yeah, it's there.
All right,
there.
guys. Let me just drop this on you. All right, this is a world where Gears and Halo can coexist. All right.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But look at the difference. There's a staunch difference.
You have Marcus in the same car, and they hit the finish line at the same time, man.
Here's the thing, like, here's the thing with like the first party studios though, like as they come out, they're like getting better and progressively better and progressively better. And I think right now, Gears 4 from that prologue footage is setting the bar and the standard going forward for any other.
And you know what? You better shut up and not mention a fucking word about it.
Oh, I'm so going to talk about it right now.
And the line just went dead.
DX12, that's what I'm telling you. DX12, they confirmed it.
So wait, what did he say? Now he confirmed it, but was the question, is it built from the ground up with DX12?
Yes, he says was this built up with DX12, and he says yes.
See, the thing with DirectX 12 and Mooch, you know, I've been following this ever since like the rumor and stuff like years ago. The thing about an API is you get all these brand new tools and stuff to build a game, but you don't have assets to fall back on. All right, these developers had to get the API in their hands. They had to start building these games. That's why you saw like games ported over, you know, that were being made with DX11 and then brought over to DX12. It started building up the assets library and stuff like that. You're gonna see, like, your eyes are gonna pop out of your head from this going forward, yeah. Because they finally have an assets library to pull from. They have the tools that's needed to make these games, and absolutely astounding.
Well, this is the first time that Gears is truly Microsoft's baby now, right? They have the cradle, they have the birth certificate, they got everything. This is theirs now. And you know, this, you know, before it was Epic's, you know, I mean, it was just Microsoft owned the rights. Now they own it, period. And
and they're showing it. It's like, you know, it's like a man's first junior. You know what I mean? They're like pray. It's Simba. Everything that sun touches is yours.
That's right. Yeah, he's right. It is Simba. To be honest with you, here's the thing that's different to Xbox. And listen, there is definitely a solid part of my heart that belongs to Halo, and it will never leave. So just understand that. Take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
But there's something about Gears that hits almost every household. Look at, why do you think Walking Dead, not Fear of the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead with Rick, why do you think that one hits?
You mean the good one?
The good one. Like, why does the good one do so well with people? There's the feeling. There's that like connection.
Yeah, it scares the shit out of you.
The father and son. Yeah, well, there's that too. But there's the father and son trying to make it in a world that's collapsing around them, and people want to kill them. And there's this, of course, exterior
Only Marcus
force.
and his son can act better than that Carl kid.
Right. Well, Carl,
Papa, baby.
But JD has both of his eyes, though. So
JD does have both of his eyes, Carl. But you know, my point being is that, like, the funny part about this is that Gears resonates with so many more people. You know what I mean? It really does.
I see what you're saying, and
the story you can wrap around America.
The cool thing about this is, and I think 343 got this with Halo, and what you saw with the story in Halo 4. They went into a more like emotional side of Master Chief, and I think they're going to build on that going into Halo 6 and beyond. And Halo really falls back on its multiplayer a lot, whereas like you already had that emotional story with Gears. So in a way, in that way, 343 is catching up to like Rod and Coalition. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when it's all said and done, I mean, what two ponies do you want in front of your chariot? You know what I'm saying? I would have Gears and Halo right there, front of the line, no problem, yeah.
I mean, just like Sony has God of War and Uncharted.
God of War,
you know what
where's
I mean?
God of War at?
Yeah,
though?
I'm saying.
Eventually, you know, I mean, 2020, but
Sony's whenever they get a gold mine franchise, they end up just not making stuff after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, going forward, like, we know, like, people bash the Xbox for the old faithfuls. I love the old faithfuls. I want Halo, Gears, and Forza as much as possible. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the mix of other stuff has been really good. Sony, on the other hand, they've said, okay, Uncharted 4 is the last one. So they don't even have that mascot anymore. Like, what's the mascot for the PlayStation brand? They don't have it.
You think they're not going to bring him back, Nathan Drake back out of retirement?
Did you see the ending? Like I didn't finish it. Fast forwards to him and his daughter. They've got like a teenage daughter or whatever who finds all his stuff or whatever. Like they're married and stuff, and he's old, and you know what I mean. Like, yeah, it's like that's done.
I mean, I mean, Hey, everybody
could
thought
see- I
that,
could see a
that
prequel.
Marcus Phoenix was dead until Welcome Home, James.
Well, nobody
you know
thought
what I
he
mean?
was dead.
Welcome
You said it. They
home.
said it far ahead, but it's like, look, they could do something with it, but Naughty Dog's not going to do it.
Well,
You
here's
know
the
what I
thing,
mean?
yo, crap. With people talking about the old faithfuls or the trifecta when it comes to Xbox, yo, if they did a half-assed job of making the next iteration, I would see that. But every time it comes down the line, of course, you know, you had the growing pains from 343 in taking over the Halo franchise. I believe it's on track now to really, really kind of explode from here on out. But, like, you know, Turn 10, Coalition, like they're not half-assing these things. If they were half-assing it, then I'd be like, yeah, I can see what you're saying with these old faithful titles. But as long as they're coming out with high-quality new titles that give you more, I mean, why not take them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, Sony used to have their own, but it's like theirs went down in quality so bad. Like, look at Gran Turismo, and look at the another franchise that they kind of ruined was the what's that Sackboy one, Little Big Planet? That used to be really good, and then they start rushing those things out, and then they seriously did. There's like 3 of them on the PS3, 1 on the PS4. There's a kart racer. There's they got him on the Vita, on the PSP. I mean, they literally just slapped Sackboy all. He's got his own fighting Smash Brothers type game. Like, you know what I mean? It was way overkill. They were just trying to copy Nintendo and have
just recently, Jack Trenton was on I think one of the IGN shows there, Unfiltered.
Yeah, he was on Unfiltered.
And when he went on there, listen, he started praising Microsoft. I've said this for years. I know I sound like a broken record, but now it's all coming out.
Hey, I don't know why Microsoft didn't hire him.
They should have.
To be honest,
they should have taken him and done whatever. They could have just picked his brain. But my point being is this: he came out, praised Microsoft. You have to understand that Jack Trenton. Everyone's like, Jack Trenton just left on a high note. No, that's not how it works in this industry. When you have something that's your baby that just comes out, you don't leave 8 months later. Here's the thing. The reason he left was he knew that devastation was coming down the road. We all know, we've all heard this. Consoles, games, they come 2, 3, 4, 5 years in development. People know what's coming down the pipe in the industry. Jack Trenton knew what was coming, and he knew it was the Titanic. He just happened to be standing on the end that went in the water at the end. He bailed the minute he got the first rowboat. Listen, I got news for you. Sony's in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. They have no games. They have a piece of shit VR. They're already being called the third-rate VR. That's not good. And people are saying, oh, they're going to sell really well because they have the biggest install base. Bullshit. That's the media pulling the curtains over your eyes, people. Don't fall for this kind of stuff. So what I'm saying is you have to look at what actually is happening. At this point in time, you have Sony in desperation mode. Everyone's like, and South, you said it when you first came out. You're like, why does Sony have to worry? They're in the lead temporarily. They're temporarily in the lead. They are in a lot of trouble the next 12 months.
But still, Xbox has a long way to go to catch up. Not saying that they can't, and not saying that
it could be 30 to 40 million for all we know.
Yeah, we don't even know where Xbox is. Xbox One's doing great. They're 1,000% up in the UK. They've won 3 NPDs. 4 is on the way.
We need more countries than just the United States to buy Xbox Ones. It's what it is.
Listen, we're never going to get Guam, Turkey, and Pakistan in on the deal. Okay, it's just not going to happen.
We got Brazil on lock, though, man.
We got Brazil, UK.
Hey, Brazil loves them some Xbox.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And Australia.
I love them Brazilians.
Hey, listen, Australia's not a country; it's a fucking continent. Okay.
I listened to or watched a bootleg video of Phil Spencer's speech in Australia, and it was pretty good, man. Where he was,
it's great.
Yeah, well, somebody recorded it with their phone and put it up on
you know what? It always happens to him. Remember when at GDC when they did that to him?
Yeah, but it was pretty good because he's like, he goes, a lot of people thought I was stupid to announce the Scorpio and the S at the same time. He goes, but the honest truth is I felt bad. I didn't want to rip people off into buying an S knowing that there was a console coming next year and just surprise people with that and have them felt ripped off. Because imagine that could have been pretty bad. You know what I mean? You just announced the S this year, and then next year you're like, okay, now we got this new console that's more powerful, and it's probably going to be the same damn price. You know what I mean? So think that, like...
Crap, somebody in the chat, listen, I know me and you go back and forth with this, so you're going to love it. Somebody in the chat just goes, Mooch, do you really think Microsoft can, like catch up to a 20 million unit deficit?
It's not
20 million? What, did Xbox One go on sale, yesterday? Get the fuck out of here. What is wrong with you people?
Here's the thing. It was at like over 21 million Windows 10 installs over a year ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you people honestly think nobody sold an Xbox since then? Nobody. I mean, let's not count the 2 million they sold at Christmas and all. You know what I mean? Let's not count any of that stuff, right?
No,
because
I'm not even into the NPDs.
All right. Hey, let
NPDs.
me ask everybody. How many units do you think it has Xbox sold?
30 million.
Everybody.
30. I'm at 30.
I'm going to say definitely
You're at
30.
30?
I'm easy
I'd
at
say
30.
27.
So 30 to 40, and we're at 40 with Sony because they said it on stage at their New York conference. Not 45, not 43, not 41. They said 40.
Yeah. And I still remember I was telling Mooch, I was like, they'll probably be 45, 50 million by the time VR comes out.
Right.
And Mooch is like, whoa.
I'm like, yeah, how many? What else are we going to say? Like, listen, there's definitely something that Sony's been doing. Sony has been completely lying. They lied on No Man's Sky. They've lied with their 720p versus 1080p with, Shadowfall. They've lied now. The PSVR is a
Watch Dogs,
flop.
60 frames per second.
Watch Dogs, 1080p, 60 frames. Wrong.
Using Forza pictures to promote Drive Club. Man, we could go on and on. Dude.
And now they're using checker rendering on their PSV Pro. Listen, look, Sony's full of shit. And that's just the bottom line. And
Because Mooch said so.
because I said so, right? Somebody get that for my desk. I want that. Not the buck stops here, but because I said so. Like, in all honesty, I really think that I've been saying this for about 2 months now. Stop giving Sony credit, people. It's over. We got to stop it. And listen, if you don't believe me, don't believe me. That's fine. Tune into your pals, Game Over Greggy and Colin Moriarty, and all those guys are kind of funny. They are even, like, taking a step back, being like, we're kind of going back to PS3 here, people, because we're going to get fucked. Because here's the thing. Phil Spencer is flying continent to continent with a big-ass grin on his face. Like, we're about to fucking stomp throat you. Like, there's a lot coming down the pipe, right? I mean, Xbox has so much momentum.
Hey, that's totally not something he would say, but maybe the attitude. Yeah,
I'm reading into his smile. My apologies. Phil, we all know Phil is not he doesn't curse, and that's not his way of doing it. It was funny. He was on a show. Someone sent me a great video. He did a show in Australia with IGN. It was an hour-long interview. And the show was called Happy Hour. And it's a European IGN show where they drink. They actually drink. And they're all drinking beer while they're asking Phil questions. And Phil has like a tall glass of water.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he drinking wine? Because I know he likes to drink wine, red wine.
Hey, Phil, talk to me if you like wine, buddy. I'll hook you up. I think you like
now,
my
on the
wine.
next episode of Crossfire, we will all be hammered.
Absolutely. I recommend
Hey,
everybody.
nothing will ever top Crap's fucking solo drunken podcast. that will live long in infamy. I'm sorry.
It was pretty good, Crap. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was like, the fucking where's the ice?
He's like, where the fuck's everybody at? I'm just fucking talking to myself. Well, fuck it. Let me have another drink.
Jack Daniels, my ass. He's just screaming.
He's talking to his bottle like, so I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. And you know what it sounded like? You know, Crap, the best part about it that I think that South's alluding to was you didn't do it on purpose because you were pretty toasted, but you did it and you sounded like a 1980s guy acting drunk. Like, I don't give a shit anyway. And it was like, holy shit. I'm like, that is some great acting. You were better than Arthur in the...
I don't know how many DMs were going around. Save Crap! Save Crap! He's there. He's fucking drunk. Go jump in there. Help him. Oh, man.
I don't remember. I never listened to that one. I always listen to the replays, but I didn't listen to that one.
Oh God, that belongs in the podcast Hall of Fame.
Look, this is something we don't talk about on Crossfire a lot, but I got to bring it up because it has just been a plethora of good news. Let's talk about backwards compatibility for a minute, people.
Ching ching. Nobody wants backwards compatibility.
Oh my goodness, Iron Wolf is doing backflips right now. I just want to say that.
He finally got his favorite fucking game. Hey, you know what? I've hated that game since the original came out. Hey, I swear to God, I on a stack of Bibles, I will put my hand on it and swear. And you do the sign of the cross in front of the Pope and everything. As soon as I hear that music for that fucking game, it was like an ambient. I'd fall asleep. I swear to God. I don't know what it was, but it was like, you know how some people have like the little water sounds to, you know, relax them to
Yeah,
fall
yeah,
asleep.
Noise, yeah.
As soon as I heard that, I was out.
Crap's like, South was like, fuck this back pain medicine. I got fucking Lost Odyssey soundtrack to listen to.
Damn right.
Listen, I'm kind of
who needs a fucking Valium?
This is why about 80 to 90% of the time I'm right there with Southbound. This game is not for me, but look, I will say this. I'm glad it's out there. It appeases a lot of the people that wanted to. Listen, when you say we're going to bring backwards compatible games over, you do got to kind of hit some of the fan favorites, and that was a fan favorite. So it's not my favorite. It's not Southbound's favorite. But a lot of people.
Hell no.
Do you understand that? This is what
I'd rather play Soda Drinker Pro for 5 hours.
Bonus
Soda Drinker Pro gets more props and mentions on podcasts than any other
game ever
in existence. It's great. But Lost Odyssey sales are up 2,000% after back compat announcement. And shout out to Matty Monk, Matty Beastfire, who was on the show last week. Matty says he's going to 3 different stores in his local area in the St. Louis area. Okay, he doesn't live in Bumpkin, USA. He lives in St. Louis. And he can't find the game. It's just not available.
He finally did find one. But the interesting thing is, like, on Amazon, the price went up to, like, $79. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Like, seriously, yeah.
That's
like,
well, because it's 15,000 discs. That's why.
It's 4 discs. It's 4 discs, but
it's a 4-disc game. Holy shit! I was like, I couldn't even take the first one.
Once you put in the 1 disc, it downloads the entire thing.
Oh, okay.
See,
that's how they work around that since it's simulation.
Lost Odyssey. All right, I grew up in the Final Fantasy VII era. Like, I played that, I enjoyed it. If there is a quality turn-based kind of like RPG game or whatever, I'm down. So I didn't get a chance to play it on the 360. I'm not spending $80 fucking for it. But if at some point
it's actually a good JRPG in my opinion. It's one of my, it's one of the few that I actually really did enjoy.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Well, but right now, with like people like, oh yeah, it's backwards compatible. Let's boost that up to close to $100. I'm not touching it.
No, don't touch it now. But hear me out real quick. So what I did was this. I said, geez, I see Lost Odyssey came out. I knew what it was, but I said I want to go back and relive a little nostalgia here. So I went ahead into YouTube and I just said Lost Odyssey review, and I clicked on IGN's review from back in the day. And let me tell you something. Boy, do I miss that IGN. What a great, there was a guy in there. The guy was on camera, and there was a little TV next to him, and he's like, hi, I'm a nobody. I'm going to review Lost Odyssey on Xbox 360. And he got into it, and he did reviews like I do and like Rand and like crap. Like, he was just so personable. He spoke about things that kind of bugged him as he was playing the game, some of the great things, and I said to myself, that was when I used to love IGN. When they were just about the games. It wasn't about the guy. The guy actually looked like an absolute slob. But God bless him, who cares? Like, he
was a dick. He was like, he looked like a fucking piece of shit, but he was honest.
Sal, but here's my point, though. Listen, I'm busting the dude's chops, but I want to pay him a compliment. The point of the matter is yes, he was not really made for TV. But, okay, but
cold-blooded. You ain't right.
Yeah, but South, he did his job.
Hey, don't you got a Harley and fucking,
yeah, I do with a bandana over my... Yeah, I got to peel out in a couple of minutes, and I got to go to that one bar that's missing the neon A in bar. Listen, I got a place to go later, but here's my
How many teeth you got on your top?
3 on top and 6 on the bottom, and yet I'm still able to speak perfectly. Listen, my point is this. Hear me out, South. Like, it's not about the guy. I don't even know his name, and I'm not going to mention his name. It's irrelevant. The point of the matter is that he gave a great review. It was honest. I think even you, South, who didn't like the game, you'd watch his review and go, all right, you're kind of spot on. Huh?
Well,
he didn't do a score.
Listen,
it was back before then. He just said, I think it's a great game. You should buy it. That's how he ended it. It was just like, if you asked your friend, like, you don't walk into GameStop and you're like, hey, you ever play that game? Yeah, it's pretty good. Not too bad. What'd you think? 6.2. Like, nobody says that.
I do. I
do.
It's about a 7.5, 8, maybe.
Hey, you know what's bad thing about my local GameStop?
What's that?
Is anytime I walk in, I go and say, oh, yeah, so, I'm waiting to get that game. It's like, You work at fucking GameStop. What are you waiting for?
It's so true. I know what you mean. Yeah, I gotta wait. I'm like, what do you mean you gotta wait? I'm sure there's a sample you can take home. There's got to be a disc open
goddamn,
somewhere.
I guess for 4 days. You could take.
Yeah, I know. They can borrow the games. The employees.
Trust me, I did it a lot. Yeah.
That is a good.
And then they put it back in the thing, and then they say it's new.
Full price.
Yeah, then they say it's new.
Full price.
Full price.
I like how
someone left their fucking Taco Bell cup sitting on top of the disc and shit.
It's got a ring on the back of it. What do you guys think? Well, here's my thing. So Lost Odyssey did really well. Okay, great. Here's what I'm excited for, and we talked about it on Xbox Nation a little bit, but I'm really pumped that World at War is back. Like that game, I'm not gonna. I know no one's gonna believe me, and that's fine. Don't believe. Again, I will say this. You know, your company that you play with means a lot, right? Crap, you talk about Graves and your friends, and you're like, I really had this. I was wrapped up in this game. Fine. You know what? That's when I shut my mouth. And I'm like, Crap's got a point. I can't argue with the fact that he had a really good time. I had an amazing time with World at War. It was the time that I can say that every one of my Call of Duty friends all got the same game. We played the shit out of it. It was the old school bouncing Betties. It was just great gaming.
I want my STD.
yes. You know what I mean?
I used to call them brown Betties all the time by accident. And then like they would be like, Crap.
As soon as you heard that, you're like, drop down. You know what I mean? To try to like it.
There was a sound. South is right. There's a sound that went off, and I was like, "Oh, I'm fucked." I was like,
"Yeah, and you had to like try to lay down because if you could lay down, you would miss the explosion. So as soon as you hear that, like boom, you like your action just hit the B button or whatever, and more times than not, you got your ass blown off. But
I just can't get over how great World at War was, man. It just was a game that resonated.
You know what?
With me.
That campaign was good.
Absolutely.
Kiefer Sutherland did a hell of a job in that.
He did do a good job in that game.
Yeah.
Hard to believe he was the snake in
Well,
the zombies are really good in that too.
That's the thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead, GKB. Talk about zombies a little bit because zombies to me.
That's what started it. That started.
Yeah, that was World at War.
Yeah, it was. It was. Zombies for some reason with me has never resonated, and I've always kind of kept my mouth shut.
Neither with me.
I just don't get it. Like it's like a poor man's horde.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what I was going to say too. Is it's just like horde mode, like you would play in Gears or anything else.
To me, it's just like make a crawler. Now we got to run around for fucking 80 hours. Like, oh god.
Well,
really?
Here's the thing. I can't speak for the World at War zombies because I did very little with it. But hear me out, GKB. Maybe, and this is not a diss. This is I'm asking a question because I want you to answer it for me. I'm very confused with this. Whenever I played any of the zombie games, especially like the one where George Romero was in it and these other guys, they have all the fancy like actors and stuff. I thought that was cool, but then I was like, they're like, Mooch, come over here. No, I'm like, should I buy a weapon? Not yet. Wait like 5 more minutes. And I'm like, all right. So I'm just using a pistol. Use a weapon. Mooch, did you buy a weapon? No, you told me to wait 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes. 2 minutes. All right. So I grab a weapon. And I'm like, come over here. You got to go over here. We got to get the warden key. What's the warden key do? Don't worry about it. Mooch, just stand here and fire while I get the goddamn warden key. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay, well, listen, there's strategy to it. There's strategy to it, right? Like, that's part of the fun. It's like you're working with your teammates, and then once
you figure out the Easter eggs and all that.
Yeah, like for me, like I like 2 in particular. The first one, which is the Nazi zombies, where there's the flamethrower and all that stuff, and you can get in this little glitch and just like burn, and you can't die. So basically, that was kind of fun. And then the Call of the Dead one was really fun. The one with George Romero, because he's constantly chasing you, which is something that's new because that's not really in any of the other ones. Plus, you're like celebrity type characters like Freddy Krueger or whatever, and like the actor that played him anyway. But so it's like you're those guys, and it's cool. And you're right. So
they had fucking Buffy, the vampire slayer and shit.
Yeah, they also had Machete. What's his name? I forget what the hell his name is.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Trejo. So they had a really good group of people, and they had the guy from The Walking Dead, Merle, who played Merle. He was in there as well.
Rucker, right?
Awesome. Yep. Yeah, yes. Michael Rooker. Yep. So they had a good cast, and it was a really good, and it was really cool. So basically, it comes down to strategy, and then you learn it, and then it's like second nature. It's like, okay, you start off, you want to save up as much money as you can, so you use your pistol for the first few rounds, then you upgrade, and then you stay there, and then you kill all the zombies. Then about round 7, then you take off. and then like you take each of you would like have a certain amount of money, and the people with the most money would open the gates, and then you go up and
doors,
then
and then the traps and all that shit.
Exactly, and then so then you try to get a crawler or whatever, and then so that you can run around and get your stuff. And then,
I don't know how many times friends of mine would be like, "We've been playing this for like 4 days straight." You know, everybody was sleeping like like I'd keep a crawler and I'd run around in circles for 4 hours while somebody slept, and when they woke up and got up, and I went to bed, and they ran around for 4 hours, and then everybody played, and then we got to level 30. It's like
that's what it is for me. It's like, well, yeah, but I mean, I like that personal like achievement and challenge of like seeing how far I can get. Like Rise, like I was streaming that on Beam a few weeks ago. I got almost like 30 by myself, and my personal best was like 44 or something like that.
Nice.
So I just try and keep pushing as far as far, and I just enjoy that kind of stuff with like horde mode and stuff. Just getting like level 50. And
wait, you did that alone?
It's intense. It's intense with friends. Like you're playing it, your friend's down. You're like, oh crap! I'll try to lure him away, and then your other friend will go pick that one up. You know what I mean? It's like, or when it's down to just you, and all your friends are down, and you got like a million of them chasing you, and you're trying to just somehow frantically.
And when they added all the perks and all that kind of stuff, like Juggernog and all that stuff.
All right, so GKB, are you going to be into Horde on Gears?
Absolutely, absolutely, I will be in Horde.
Listen, here's my thing. So absolutely, listen. Maybe I was just playing with the wrong group because I was playing with usually not everyone I played World at War with was into the zombies. So I played with a couple of my good friends, and then it was a couple of my good friends' friends that I didn't know, and that was where the mistake came in. They're like, "Oh, don't worry, Mike the Warrior will know."
Your friend
how to
sounds
do
like
it.
Smoker.
I gotta make the guy. Everybody that
sound
I always
like Marge Simpson's sister and shit.
No, it was worse. It was. I'm trying to be the bad guy. I'm trying to be the bad guy in fucking Men in Black.
Homer, you piece of shit.
Where do you keep your dead?
No, I just want to know
dead.
So, by the way, if you Men in Black, the first one, so good. Where do you keep your dead? So, in all honesty, like I think that like he was like, here's the deal, Mooch. We're gonna go here. So, what was the one? Help me out here, guys. It was definitely 360 era. It was the zombies where you had to like work your ass off. It was the George R. Romero one, and then you took off on the plane. And you had to like get off, and then you went somewhere else, right? You had to put all the parts together to fly off.
Oh, that's the Alcatraz map, bro.
The Alcatraz, right? Yeah. Was that
that's not the George Romero one. That's the other one.
George Romero's like the zombie.
So listen to this. This happened to me, and it's burned me. I've yet.
George Romero was the one where he had the
like the
where you would.
He had that little electrocution thing where he's like,
the one with the plane. I worked my ass off. I did what Southbound said. I'm running around in circles. I'm running around in circles. And I'm like, we're getting all. My buddy's like, I'll get these parts. I know where everything is. And we're with this team. And so I'm running around in fucking circles. They're like, we're going to the roof. We're going to the roof. So I'm like, I start running to the roof, and I get there, and there goes the fucking plane.
Oh yeah,
without me. And I'm like, you know what I said? I said, fuck you. Fuck you! I'm unfriending you, and I'm unfriending you, and I did. I let those.
I would have said,
go.
all you cocksuckers, I'm putting bad feedback on you, sons of bitches.
I want to mention something real quick. It just came across from Cheap Ass Gamer. Apparently, right now,
what do you got?
You get Forza Horizon 3 Standard Edition email delivered, which is a code $19.99 via Target. So I just tweeted that. I just tweeted that out. Yes, email delivery $19.99.
Wow,
$19.99.
Wow,
1999.
That's got to be a misprint, and if it is, I mean, everybody better jump on it.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it right now too. Everybody's
making a strong case that Forza Horizon 3 is quite possibly the best racer ever.
I shit you not. I could get this right now. It's for $20.
No, you're right, crap. I'm seeing it.
Yeah. I'm just letting anybody know that if you wanted it, like hop on this shit, like right
get
now.
That. Holy shit!
That is like this is maybe the game of the year.
Retweet it, and
it is so game.
I paid 40 for it, but I'm still pissed.
Oh, Jesus. That's a good damn deal. I paid 100 for mine.
Yeah, but it's standard edition. You got the ultimate edition.
Yeah, I did.
You've been playing Forza Horizon 3, it feels like, since like fucking last year, crap.
Yeah, I know.
us with the ultimate, man, we are spoiled though. Like you get those double credit wheel spins and stuff like that. It feels good, man.
Well, you know what's cool about how I did it? I game share with my brother Hellhammer, which finally, thank God, that dude's like stepping up and like getting some games, man. He got Mafia 3 digitally, Gears 4 digitally. He got Forza Horizon 3 digitally. So that means that I don't need my copy in the game in there to play Forza Horizon 3, but he also gets the advantage of all the bonus stuff that I got with my Ultimate Edition, so it works out.
Nice.
But I already have Mafia 3 and Gears 4, all that shit installed already.
Mooch, guess what, man? After our last talk about the whole treasure map and everything like that, freaking Snaps went and she bought the treasure map. Now check this out.
Hold on, I got to pull her.
Yeah.
Nice work. Nice work, Mel.
Game share. You know what that means? You know what that means?
It popped up on your game.
I have the fucking treasure map now, man.
Yeah. Oh. Were you pissed?
I was a little upset, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
Listen, I got news for you. That was the smartest thing in the world to happen to you ever by accident.
Mooch, what's going on here, man? Snaps has an iPhone now. She's buying treasure maps for racing games. What are you doing, man?
She is buying into the Mooch's policy, okay? And that policy is a success story. So good for you, Mel. Listen, like I know, she goes, she has an iPhone. Oh, my God. I didn't know that. If she has an iPhone, I'm shocked. Did you or her sleep on the couch that night? Who the hell? That's crazy.
Is it one of those ones that blows up?
We put on our shirts. Like she had her Southbound shirt on. I had my crap shirt on. And
nice.
She stood.
Hell yeah! I love it.
Jay Williams. I know Jay Williams is listening. That means that Mooch needs a new shirt because people aren't buying them. All right.
You got to come out with a good idea. Like
I do.
Yeah, like mine was just like I always come up with something good, like me pissing on a PS4. Great, right? I'm like, hey, you know that old Calvin and Hobbes thing where he's pissing on something?
Yeah, I do.
Slap my face on there, but he's pissing on a PS4. It's going to be brilliant, and a million of those are sold.
I did the Uncle Sam one where we want you to buy an Xbox One. Apparently, that didn't take so well. So the point is, we'll have to do something else. We'll figure.
The Pony Lake Breaker Extraordinaire one sold pretty well.
That's the one with the cast, man. That is the shirt for me.
Yeah, apparently the one where it's me threatening.
Hey, because you know what? Because like you can almost see. Like, you want to, like, talk for the damn horse and be like, this fucking crap took my leg. Took my leg, Billy. It took my leg.
Took my leg.
I signed a cast for him, though. Rack him up.
I know. Rack him up, man.
What more can you ask for?
Hey,
what took my leg?
Guys, what the hell? What did Aaron Greenberg do yesterday? He was riding around in a huge Mercedes-Benz truck just handing out Gears of War consoles?
Yeah.
I was just pissed off he wasn't in Connecticut doing that.
They're never on the East Coast. It's almost like we don't exist. We're another country. You don't have to pay a toll.
No, you know why? You know why?
Why?
It's because that last night, they had one of the best fucking like lineup of like hip hop, entertainers for a party for Gears last night. Like they had like 2 Chainz, Wiz Khalifa, Ty Dolla $ign, Nas. Like,
you say Nas?
Well, if you're into rap music, you would know all these names.
They're big.
And like,
what?
They had a huge party with all them guys.
But still,
so they all got the consoles. But they went and they gave out, several prior to that event last night.
Nas lives in New York, man. Why? Come over here. We're right next door, Connecticut. Come on. Bring some of those Gears consoles over here.
One of my biggest issues, like with the whole like gaming thing, and I know it's not because you're on the show. It has nothing to do with you on the show. I just don't understand. There's a lot of money in New York, Connecticut, New England. There's a lot of money. And I don't understand why the gaming media only focuses in on the West Coast. I just don't understand why they don't do more shows.
No, you know what? No, but Times Square does get a lot of.
We get a Halo launch and a console launch. That's it. But so does fucking like Bangkok.
But there's a lot of times we get overlooked though too.
LA?
So like,
what?
Yeah. There's a lot of times we get overlooked.
You got E3.
Overlooked for what? Like Idaho? I mean.
You guys get listen. Shout out to Doc Cupcake. Doc Cupcake in the past 2 weeks has gone to more gaming events than I'll go to in my entire life if I retired tomorrow.
And it's because coming off back surgery, like
but here's the thing.
You know what? Hey, he and I had surgery the same day.
Yeah.
No, he and I had the surgery the same day. He had back surgery. I had front surgery. And like he was up and doing cartwheels and shit, and I'm sitting there laying in bed half dead. I'm like, how? What the fuck?
He's like, yo, what's the deal with that shit? Maybe he's got better drugs. I don't know.
Hey, that son of a bitch better share.
Maybe he's in a place where medicinal marijuana is legal.
No, he's not. He's in California with me.
Oh,
I thought is he in California? I thought he was in.
Yeah. He's by San Diego.
Better look into that doctor.
Well, yeah, because he's originally from Indiana area.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because I always see him like cheering for the Colts.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
he calls everybody Bubba, and he's like, I don't know about you guys. Xbox, gotta calm down now, brother. I'm like, the hillbilly come in the building.
Yo, whether it's real or not, Luke Taylor, who won what is it there? He won a prize on either MC Mornings or on my show. He just tweeted out, he goes, I kid you not, the second crap said Forza Horizon 3 was $20. I bought it instantly.
Yeah, I just had a bunch of people tweet me they just bought it because that's a hell of a deal. And you're going to get the email.
That's a steal. That's a steal.
$20. Hell
Can't wait to see you guys on tonight. Everybody that copped it for $20, man.
Everybody should get it.
Yeah.
Yo, for $20? I mean, like.
Oh, yeah.
Yoshida's playing it right now.
Yeah, she's planning to call up and try to win that year of Xbox Live on M&C Mornings this Sunday.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Oh, believe me, we got a huge plug at the end of the show tonight. Yeah. It's going to be a great. Hey, everybody get that cup of Joe. Somebody shake the shit out of Southbound and wake him up over there on the West Coast.
Did you hear? I asked Jay.
Yeah, what? Fucking 4 a.m?
Yeah. It's 7:30.
They're calling it MC Mornings, bro. Come on.
You're up anyway, South. You don't go to bed till like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, not since my surgery. Hey, ever since my surgery, my sleeping schedule is so fucked. I'll go to sleep like at 7 o'clock, like I'm an 80-year-old man, and I'll be up. I'll be up before the fucking chickens, and then I'll be sitting there twiddling my thumbs. You know,
I wish I knew you so bad, South. I wish I knew you like 5-6 years ago. You have no idea, dude. I used to be up till like 3-4 in the morning over here. I mean, I would be. Oh, man. Nowadays, man, look, first of all, I'm getting older. Second of all, kids are getting older, which means they're getting up and kicking me in the shins earlier. And, like, all this shit's going on. Like, it's just hard for me to step. Like, now, like, 1 a.m. is almost like a cutoff in the East Coast for me. I can push 2 a.m., but damn, that next day hurts. But, I mean, in all honesty, it's I can't believe it. Look at all these people tweeting me. They're like, holy shit, Forza Horizon, $20. I feel like I got taken.
Yo, crap, you said something that just went viral, man. Yo.
It did. It's everywhere right now. Like, everybody is tweeting me. They're like, Mooch, look at what crap gave you.
That's good, though. No, that's great. You should get some fucking credit for it.
Well, that's what
I want my royalties.
Everybody should be playing this game.
It's more people to be online.
I talked to Rand this morning, and he was like, dude, Forza Horizon 3 is like my game of the year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I said, I know. I'm like,
and if you would have asked him that a month ago, it was Inside. That fucking piece of shit game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Newsflash, we're all controlled by something. Dun, dun, dun.
You're a cog in the machine.
Yeah.
and not the good Gears cog either.
Wait, I got to reserve my comment. I will get Forza's just stunning. But listen, guys. Gears of War 4 has a very strong potential of taking that crown in 7 days. So let's just hold off on Game of the Year talk because let's be honest.
Yeah. Again, like, I said this when Forza Horizon 2 came out because I said that should have got some serious consideration.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But because, look, these games transcend to just hardcore racers can like them because you can adjust the sliders to be simulation. Pretty much, you know what I mean? But you can also adjust them to where everything happens forward, more very arcade. Like, you know what I mean? There's that's what I like, is you should have the option in any racing game to have it as tough as you want or as easy as you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem that I have with some of these other racing games is there's no learning curve. It's like you just gotta be good, you know? So yeah, I love the fact that Forza really gets it right, and like I anxiously await the 2-year development period for these Horizon games. I think they're phenomenal. And
dude, can you imagine the next one? I can't even imagine like what they would do.
I got to agree with you, Xbot. Like, I was just going to say that. I was going to say, listen, I hate to just jump out of the skin that we're enjoying right now and jump into the next one. But what Scorpio is proposed to give us as gamers, can you imagine what Forza Horizon 4 would look like? I mean, it's going to be like looking at the Mona Lisa for the first time if you were born in 1890. I mean, it's just going to be beautiful. Like, it's insane. To me, I'm so excited for Scorpio. It's so a day one buy. The great thing about it, too, is I sound like a walking billboard here, but all the games I have, I don't have to worry and preach and be like, well, just put it in the forum that you want all your games to come over. They're just there. Like, day one on Scorpio, I can go back and play any game I have on my Xbox One S. Mm-hmm. That's just, we don't have to deal with the bullshit we dealt with in the beginning of this generation, which I didn't think was that bad, but I do understand some of the beef people had. Like, people wanted to be able to play their old games. People wanted this. People wanted that. We are still getting some of the features that we had on 360 moved over now. But listen, to everybody who wants to bitch and complain, come on, the PlayStation 4 still has the same UI as the PlayStation 3. It's a sad day in Sony land. It really is. It's been a sad year. I don't think Sony can compete, and I think
honestly, I don't even care about Sony.
No, I don't.
Let's stop talking about Sony. Let's talk about everything that's great about Xbox.
Well, we just did a 45-minute Xbox praise. I thought we would switch it over a little bit.
You can't. How can you go from a high to a low?
Oh, hey, listen, okay.
Bashing Sony a little bit.
That is true. It's kind of looks like what makes me.
Well, we did that. We were talking about Crap's pictures, his t-shirts.
Crap's t-shirts. Listen, all right. I'll stick on a high note for you. Tell me
they took my leg, Billy.
They broke my leg. I like that. That's actually perfect. How about this? There's a rumor out that Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic remake would come to an Xbox One exclusive.
Makes sense.
That makes me happy.
You know what I heard also, that if this does happen, it could possibly, if they do an event like a 15-year Xbox celebration, it would be announced there and then released shortly thereafter or something like that, like a situation like that. And it makes sense because KOTOR was one of the first games, was one of the big games on the Xbox. Remember, like, it couldn't have been done on the PS2. That's why it wasn't on the PS2.
Yeah, I have such a special spot for KOTOR just because the day I got it, I actually got bronchitis, and I was bedridden for almost like over a week, and all I did constantly like that whole time was play that game. I got so immersed in that game. It's one of those gaming memories for me that, like, when I just hear KOTOR, man, it's just a certain feeling. If they bring that back, oh man, I am so down. I'm waiting in line. I don't care.
No, wait, wasn't KOTOR just like, what was the game that came out on PC? I don't know what was, maybe a year or two ago. Was it KOTOR? It was Knights of the Old Republic, right? They redid for PC recently.
Yeah.
The online, right, GKB?
Yeah, it's like some different one. It's not the same.
Yeah, no, it's like an online type.
You guys remember the name of it?
The Old Republic.
The Old Republic. Okay, listen. So they did that, and as I've said many times at CrossFire and other shows, a lot of my friends at work, where I work in my engineering firm, they're all PC. There's a lot of PC guys. The good news is they're all quiet.
Do you often
PC
tell them
guys.
they don't matter?
Actually, yeah. Most of them I walk by and don't even acknowledge. But
I just gotta say, shout out to Drop D Unchained in the chat. He was like, a lot of games weren't possible on the PS2. He was like Morrowind, Doom 3, KOTOR, like
Jade Empire. Yeah, that was also a good Escape from Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay.
Oh man, that was highly acclaimed. Man.
Oh, that was a great game.
Hey, crap! I like this. Game. Supersonic Station gave me the credit in one of these tweets. Thank you, Supersonic Station. He goes, shout out to Mooch for letting me know about 1999.
Yeah, good job, Mooch. Thanks.
Sabotage.
It was actually crap, but sabotage. So, anyways, no, Knights of the Old Republic really kind of resonates with something that I want to get into. That's another MMO, a lot of grinding, very little story. You get to pick your different characters.
No, Knights of the Old Republic has a great story.
Okay, then tell me about it.
It's not an MMO; it's an RPG,
right.
And you can beat it like in. I think the first time I played through it.
Oh, so KOTOR has nothing to do with the way that the Old Republic went on the PC remake.
No. It's like Dragon Age and stuff.
Dragon Age or Witcher. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. There's a great story. I guess like everybody should know it by now, but like it's a really kind of a whodunit. You're this guy who's force sensitive. Like you spend the first 7 hours training to be a Jedi or whatever. And then you finally got to find the parts to put together your lightsaber or whatever. And yeah, it's like really good. And the story is fantastic. There's like, you run into people like this old Jedi named Jolie Bendo who like kind of rambles and stuff. And there's like Wookiee characters, and you get like you always have a few people with you because it's a BioWare game. So you always have like the choice. You can either do good things or bad things. If you do bad things, your face kind of reflects that. It gets uglier and uglier. If you do good things, your face kind of like looks more better and better.
Very much like Mass Effect.
Yeah. It's basically Mass Effect was KOTOR without like Jedis and stuff. So it's very much like that, and a really good game. I used to play it like every year except for, and then like Xbox 360 came out, and about 2007 or so, then I was kind of immersed with Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4 and all that stuff. So and I was also into achievements, so that played a role. But I would love to play a remake with achievements. Hell yeah!
Listen, I know this is right up Jamie's alley, but listen, I gotta say this: where the fuck are the Mass Effect either remakes or the back compat or like what the fuck? Like, where's Andromeda? What's happening? Like, BioWare, are they slipping? What's happening?
Yeah, you know what? I have no idea. I wish I knew. I love that series. You would think that they would definitely put something out. You know what I mean? Because look, people. When was the last one? 2012. I mean, you're going to be looking at Andromeda coming out in 2017. Supposedly, a lot of people have forgotten all about that stuff. So it would make sense to just remaster those games. They still look great, and then put them with all the DLC because a lot of people didn't buy all the DLC.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, look at first. Let me tell you my Mass Effect history. Mass Effect 1, barely played it. I played a little bit. It's just so when I got into Mass Effect, it was just clunky and blah blah blah. I was like, nah, not for me. Mass Effect 2, I played through, enjoyed it. Mass Effect 3,
loved it.
I started playing the multiplayer and then just stopped. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I don't even have an answer for you. I have no answer for the audience. I just stopped. But I would like to go back and play them. But like now I'm like, all right, I'm kind of in this, like, either make it back compatible, so I can play it on my Xbox One. I'm not going to play it on 360. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, I'll play it on,
like, 360.
Are they going to come out with a remaster or what?
They got to do something, right? I mean, I am not a huge remaster fan, but I'm a huge fan of the BioShock family doing it. I would be a huge fan of Mass Effect doing it. I think it's entitled. I think the fans want it. I think
Mass Effect was one of it's probably one of my all-time favorite series.
It really is up there, man.
From part one, like you said, it was clunky and it was awkward. But the storyline and the choices you had to make, like, there was some shit that I had to sit there and, like, legit take about 10, 15 minutes. Like, who am I going to sacrifice?
You're
like,
right.
Who's going to die? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, what I do? Do I choose my best friend or do I choose my piece of ass? You know what I mean? Like, like, damn.
It's great.
The best friend had to go.
BOA. See you later.
Yo, that's actually a really good point. Like, I mean, you're
right.
right.
I love you dearly, not queerly.
Yeah.
But like Mooch, they were talking about like the remasters like a few weeks ago or something like that. There was like a possibility of them coming and everything like that. And then shortly after that, Peter Moore kind of squashed it all and was like, "No, we're focused on Andromeda and all that kind of stuff right now." So. I would enjoy remasters for those.
I'm hearing like it's actually kind of got me a little worried. I'm hearing bad things about Andromeda. Like they're having trouble finishing.
Well, the only thing we've seen is like the PlayStation event, really, and that's about it.
And it looked janky, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it didn't look.
Yeah. I'm hearing behind the scenes that they're having trouble.
Futuristic walking simulator they showed at that point in time, like they picked the worst. Like
they did show the raw part.
Yeah. We're gonna walk and then jump onto this pedestal and then this pedestal and then we're gonna put our hand over a hologram. There we go. We're done.
I just don't think that EA should be using the Frostbite engine for every friggin' game that comes out.
It's very resource heavy because did you hear they're like, look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The PlayStation Pro is powerful for a console, and that thing can't even do 60 frames on the fucking Frostbite engine at 1080p. You know what I mean? It's going to be 30 frames per second. So, what the hell's the point?
Crap. You said it a while ago. I'm going to give you credit where credit's due. So if it's 30 frames, they're not going to get any more 1080p-er. So,
That's my thing as well. I'm always like, there's no such thing as 1080p.
So my point being is, why do I need a Pro? Sony, you can't sell me one. You can't. And you know what's funny? Xbot, I got to give credit. Mel always says, let Mooch try to sell it. Let Mooch try to sell it. If Sony hired me, okay, and they'd have to pay me a lot of money for me to even wear a fucking PlayStation pin. I don't even think I could put that pin on. If I had to go out there, I don't know if I could sell it to anybody because here's the point. At the end of the day, it doesn't have the hardware to play a 4K Blu-ray movie, and it doesn't have the hardware to put out a 4K game or a 60 frame per second game. Like, you know,
Mooch, I think you just made Oh Snap shed a tear at work. I know she's probably.
I know. I apologize. It's a hard sell. I mean, would I be able to do it? I need a lot of vodka, a lot of top-notch wine, and a lot of time. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it because it really, crap, you just said it. It is a decently, I'm going to word myself properly. It's a decently kind of good console, the PS4. Yeah. and it can't do 60 frames.
Yeah.
On stage.
You just look at it. For Horizon Zero Dawn 30, the next God of War 30, Mass Effect Andromeda 30. So I mean, what's the point?
Southbound, you're a big God of War fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say big, but if when it comes to Sony's, flagship games, that's probably one of my go-tos, and that's a reason why I have a PlayStation.
Okay, so we talked about this on Xbox Nation, and we're going to talk.
You sold your PlayStation. You were like, "Get the hell out of here!"
Well, hey, I'm not going to need one until 2018 or 2020, whenever the hell it comes out.
Southbound, how pissed off are you as a fan of the overhead or whatever you want to call it view of the way God of War was? That now it's an over-the-shoulder, basically first person. Doesn't that piss you off that they changed the game from what you loved?
Yeah, I don't know how to get used to it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't feel the same. It feels like a new IP. It doesn't feel like God of War. Imagine. Here's what I said to everybody. Imagine if
you know what? You brought it up. You brought it up a few minutes ago. You mentioned the BioShock. It feels like going from BioShock 1 to BioShock 2.
Okay. All right. I can see what you're saying.
Because BioShock 1 was damn good. BioShock 2 was like, meh. Nah. And then Infinite was fucking great because it went back to the,
I loved Infinite.
For me, it was like this. What was the, can somebody please help me with this? Oh, Xbot, I have the Halo resident here. Xbot, what was the name of the Halo game that was a mobile game, a PC game, and then it also came to Xbox One? It's an overhead shooter. Is it Halo Assault? Spartan Assault. Okay, that's like going from Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to Halo Assault. Hear me out.
Oh, dude, that's horrible.
It's awful. My point being is this. I like to put, like apples and apples. Everyone always says God of War for PlayStation is like Gears of War for Xbox. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's their second tier. We just said that earlier. It's Halo and Uncharted versus God of War, Gears of War. Okay, great. So we're all in agreement there. They made God of War an over-the-shoulder first person. That would be like if Gears of War 4 was an over-the-head, like Halo Assault. That would have made everybody lose their fucking mind. Like Redmond right now would be in flames. The National Guard would be there. There'd be a lot of problems. And everyone's okay with God of War. Oh, up for a new God of War style. Like God of War changing its tune. Who's David Jaffe? Like my whole point is like whenever Sony does anything, it's okay. And like Crap said, we're not getting away with a CrossFire without a Sony fucking blast. Why can Sony change their tune, South, and why is it nobody gives them any shit? No shit.
I don't know. I think in this situation, Mooch, like when we were watching the E3 thing and the Sony thing and all that kind of stuff, I think even me, like, because I enjoyed God of War, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh man, these graphics look cool. I really like what they're doing here and this, that, and the other. But I think as the game comes out and we start to see more and more of it, I think you're going to see a lot of the God of War like faithful guys that really enjoy that franchise kind of take a step back and being like, wait, I don't know if I like this now because I enjoyed the change and doing all that, awesome like fighting and all those kind of tactics. Where now it, like after I've been thinking about it, it kind of looks like, Far Cry Primal when they did that.
Yes.
He's like shooting the bow and arrow and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see here in the next year or two, like when they start showing more footage and seeing how.
Look, okay, so let me take a step back, and you're right, GKB. Let me say this much. I'm not going to sit here and say that God of War, whatever they're making for, whatever they want to call it, I'm not saying that is going to be a bad game. That's not fair to say. It may be very good, but it's just not the same
it's not
game.
The God of War, yeah, for sure.
They should have just.
It's not God of War unless it shrinks you down at a weird camera angle where you can hardly see your character.
Right, like I want to do like the first 3 God of Wars I played. I got epilepsy. I want to make sure I get that.
And you know what? Damn it! I want another threesome.
Oh, that'll happen, but this time in first person.
Well, no, you see how much they toned him down. He's like politically correct Kratos with a kid and everything.
Yeah, with a kid. I don't think you're gonna see any of that stuff. No.
Yeah, like it's just
that's whack.
I don't know. I mean, to me personally, I just think that it's not fair. This is another rendition of where Sony gets a pass on changing something that's nostalgic for their fan base. And if Microsoft ever did that, we would have huge problems. We would have a big time problem with that.
It is an interesting thing that you brought up, Mooch, though. Like, now that you think about it, like, all the games they showed, they were eerily similar to each other.
Yes.
And just, like, this weird, like, is all, like, am I looking at, like, the same game a little bit, just a little bit different? It's really interesting, yeah.
Yeah, every game they showed at E3, not only is it coming out in 2019, which
that's
sucked
what
on.
I was just thinking, like 2019 is when you're going to see all of them.
You're going to see those games in 2019. And listen, I got news for you. So here's what happened. Anyone that follows me on Twitter,
I mean, just look at it. I mean, we from not even this E3 that just passed, but the E3 from last year, we still haven't gotten games that were shown there. So, I mean, you know, when are these games going to drop? Ooh, nobody knows.
They were just like, hey, people really seem to like The Last of Us, that third person over the shoulder type style. Let's do a zombie game, Days Gone, and let's make that game look like that. Let's go ahead and turn God of War into that. How about Horizon Zero Dawn? Let's make that game like that. Like, all these games look the same and have that same kind of camera setting. And yeah, it's like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, God of War was kind of distinct. You could have got away with changing around something.
What was that game they had to do with the mechanical arm? You know, it was a grappling hook. But
Bionic Commando?
Bionic Commando. Yeah, like that. I fucking hated that camera angle.
Well, I didn't like the camera angle, but I liked the game. But I do understand where you're coming from. And that's the same thing with God of War. God of War's camera angle was awful. It was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the jumping, the platforming in it, for me, like, don't get me wrong, you get the gist of it. I get it. It's not that difficult. But I didn't think that's the other thing. I didn't think God of War was that difficult. I think, like, you just...
Hey, God of War 3, everybody play here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the music part. Remember towards the end of the game when you had to do you had to play the piano or whatever the hell it was. You had to play the organ.
That's like
I do, but it was a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the worst time doing it. You know, because you have to match it up. You know, with the triangle, the X, or whatever. You know what I mean? You had to to make the music go. You know, and it was kind of like Rock Band, how as soon as it comes to the screen. Yeah, you had to line it up. I don't know what the hell. My fingers were, delayed that day, but it took me like an hour just to get past that stupid part. And I was like, fuck this game. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to break the disc in half.
Well, I mean, the thing about God of War that just got me was, here's what I've been pitching for a long time. Everybody goes, I want Rise 2. I want Rise 2. I don't want Rise 2. You know what I want? I want God of War blended with Rise. I want a Castlevania game that takes place in the Roman era of time that has like creatures and shit like all coming up out of the ground and make the Castlevania like not Dracula. Give the guy a whip and a bow and arrow.
That they came out with last generation was damn good. What's it called?
Symphony of the Night?
No.
I'm sorry. What am I talking about?
We got some people in the chat. I guess when we announced that you're going to see these PlayStation games in 2019, I guess it got some people in their feels, man, because you ever notice that is a very touchy subject when we talk about the history. Like,
it is Lord. Shout out to Delilah real quick. It is Lord of the Shadows.
Oh, I love Lord of the Shadows.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Awesome.
Hey, and that ending. Come on.
Oh my!
That ending, man. I could go back and watch it on YouTube for like 20 times.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I gotta say,
you're like fucking Dracula. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've told
people, great.
360. The Castlevania, the Lords of Shadow is one of my favorite games that generation. Absolutely insane.
Great game.
This guy, this guy NFZK 4.0.
He's been blocked a lot. He just
He's just out of his mind. That poor
like,
guy. I feel
He's
bad.
like, he reminds me of Omazio. Omagazio.
He's worse. He's actually
Omagazio.
Yeah, Omagazio's bad, but he usually just like humor. He's like Omagazio like is a small child. You give him enough toys in his room, he'll just sit there and be quiet and play by himself after a while with the chat. But like this NFZK guy just constantly is like, Xbox has had an awful year so far. I don't know what
year.
It's what he said. He said that a while back. I'm like, I don't even know what decade you're talking about. You sound like a retard. But
I'm having an awful
like
year.
I said, when you mention future titles, I mean, not for anything. If you look at what's been going on this generation, 98% of Sony's exclusives have been delayed, and a lot of titles multiple times. You have no idea when a Sony exclusive is actually coming out.
Hey, Kojima's next game with Norman Reedus, I honestly think it's going to be a PlayStation 5 launch title.
I think you're right.
Oh, it takes a really long time to make a game.
Absolutely.
Because he takes long time to make games.
5+ years.
It'll be cross-gen, though, right? So, I mean, come on. They'll pump that out right next to Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3, we haven't heard anything from.
Yeah,
Nothing.
where is that, man? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they made their money. They made their money the next day after the homeboy was crying on the stage.
Homeboy was crying. That's great.
Everywhere I go, people ask me about Shenmue 3.
Everybody asked me. Listen, I got news for you, man. That poor man was dragged from the streets of China, Japan. Oh, sorry, my fault. My apologies. And that's a shit show. But let me bring the subject up real quick. So real quick, change the subject. Let's talk about Insomniac. Insomniac's been on Twitter for the past couple of days talking about, I'm glad everybody likes Sunset Overdrive. We like Sunset Overdrive too. What the fuck are they talking about?
You know why? Because they made Sound of the fucking Deep. They got nothing to do. They're making the Spider-Man game for Sony.
Well, somebody had asked. Somebody asked them. They're like, "Hey, can you put that on PC?"
Yeah.
And that way maybe we'd get enough interest to go and get a sequel. You know, and they're like, "Hey, we'd love to do that, but it's all totally up to Microsoft." You know what I mean? Like a lot of people were like,
"Well, because they know Microsoft will have to pay for the game."
Exactly. But see, the funny thing is, you know how people are. They're like, if there's a sequel, it could be multi-plat, which no, Microsoft isn't stupid. I think they would have a deal in place where, just like Alan Wake, you know, Microsoft has the publishing rights. There's a difference. You don't have to own an IP to own an IP. You know what I mean? Like you can bottleneck the IP just by having the publishing rights. And basically that's what happened.
Well, look at Alan Wake.
Yeah, like we'll never get a sequel to that. Look at that guy that runs Remedy now. He's a total PlayStation mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, he totally is. Like anybody go look at him.
We lost Remedy. I have to admit.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they're long gone. They're doing that Chinese shooter or whatever
like
it is.
A Call of Duty for China.
Yeah, and then they're doing something else that I wouldn't doubt that's going to be probably either multi-plat or PlayStation exclusive.
It'll be multi-plat because they still do have a great working relationship with Xbox. But there's not going to be any more.
Hey, if you're Microsoft though, why invest any more money if their last two games, although a lot of people liked them, nobody bought them.
Yeah, nobody bought them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
why not? You know what? Still to this day, Quantum Break was my game of the year.
Well, listen, I'm with you. Go ahead,
the whole thing with Quantum Break, here's what happened. Digital Foundry fucking tried to plant the seed about resolution. You know, resolution is a big thing to even casual gamers for some reason this generation. And then, of course, you have the gaming media who just ran with that shit. Like, oh, yeah, they're right. Like, what does this mean? Like, what resolution is this over here? I mean, it's outputting 1080p, but it doesn't look it and stuff like that. They didn't realize about a stylized environment, or they didn't want to throw it out there. Hey, stylized environment, 4 layers of shit going on and stuff like that. And I think that was the seed, because before Digital Foundry's analysis, people were hyped for that game. Every time you saw something from that game, you could tell there was a positive spin. As soon as Digital Foundry came out here with that question and the gaming media kind of spun it in their own directions and threw it out there into the public, that's when you saw the downfall.
Look, thus far, I'm with Southbound. Thus far, I mean, I think my opinion's going to change in a week, but thus far.
Yeah, well, right now, Forza's kind of creeping up because Forza Horizon 3 is just phenomenal.
Poor Mooch hasn't even played that damn game yet, so he don't know.
Listen, with everything that's going on at work and shit and just crazy.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, I own it. It's on my console. I haven't turned it on yet.
Okay.
No, I just haven't gotten to it yet. Tonight was crazy.
Come on, man.
You
can get in the Roscoe Pico train. His car. We could do some jumps.
Dude,
like,
I'll be there.
Mooch, it's right up your alley, man. You can you talk about games where you can go and like grab your drink and stuff like that. Like when you do the online stuff, you guys can all like huddle together.
The co-op campaign. We did it with Iron Wolf and Patman and Tim Dog.
Yeah.
Oh my! Hey, we were laughing, having fun. Like we were laughing like a bunch of horses, like a bunch of ponies.
Well, here's the problem with Quantum Break. They use checkerboard rendering, which, as you guys know, the media. Hold on, this just in. The PS4 Pro does it, so now the media loves it. So
yeah, they were confused at first, but now it's like the golden age. I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like the best thing ever, and it's like 4K. What does it mean to you?
And if we don't get a sequel to Quantum Break sometime, I'm gonna send a hate letter to fucking Sam Lake, and I'm gonna post it on Twitter.
Dude, you would think that we would.
They fucking teased the sequel, like
the ending.
Yes, yes.
Well, same thing with Alan Wake. They even made Alan Wake DLC, that American Nightmare.
That was actually pretty good.
I mean,
the way they ended Quantum Break, and obviously, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that didn't buy it, which was a lot of people. But
that game released on Steam like today.
We're past
now everybody wants it.
Yeah,
I see all over Twitter.
Here's my thing. Let me ask you a question now. Me and South are already on record saying we loved it, and we did. Okay, is there such a thing as too much story? Because I think Quantum Break was like a lot of gameplay, but it got trumped by a lot of story. And maybe that doesn't appeal.
Yeah, but then when you got games like Witcher and Dragon Age.
Well, but yes,
you talk about exactly. The Witcher, which you have to fucking work like a fucking job.
It's like hundreds of hours.
Yeah, but hear me out. The story in Witcher is like, hey, so then my wife did this and I got pissed. Go find her. Okay. And like that's like, it's like, okay, it's a 4-minute thing. This was like 25 minutes. Talk about making a drink and fucking sitting down. I had to dim the lights and tell everybody to shut their cell phones off. I'm like, I was in my living room and a guy walked by with a flashlight checking my ticket. There was way too much going on. There was a lot of movie here. I'm just saying maybe we want to calm down with the story a little bit. Well, I enjoyed it.
I thought that was the best part of it.
I like the story. I actually thought that and I loved the show. I liked the
show was great. The show was great.
Hey, was really well
done. What's her name? Oh man, that chick is hot.
Absolutely, Sal.
hey! I tweeted her a couple times because, there was one.
Yeah, you did.
One painting on the wall where it was just like her from the back, and I was like, damn. And she responded. She's like, look at that arse. I was like, I've been doing it for 3 hours, honey.
I think
maybe she'll call in this Sunday and give her dimensions, Mooch, and win.
Oh no!
And
win but by the way, first of all, I like how you've turned this into me being the bad guy. I may have said the wrong word, but you're the one that said call in and give your whatever proportions, your dimensions, measurements.
Hey, is there anyone on the panel who wouldn't want that? Come on.
Well, it depends. It depends. I don't want to have a big guy going like, craps. What was your crap? What did you say? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, what I said was, look, I said, we'll open the phone lines, and all women has to do is call in, give their measurements, and they'll win. They don't have to answer any questions or do any bullshit. They can just call in, give their measurement, boom, good to go. Very stern type thing to do, right?
Absolutely.
But Mooch messed it up, and he kept calling it stuff like dimensions and stuff like that.
I said, just give us your dimensions.
It was like, let me see the circumference.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer. What do you want from me?
Exactly. GKP's the only one who got me. Like, all I work with all day is like technical drawings. Like, that's all I have on my desk all the time. So it was
he's like, I need an AutoCAD real quick, and
that's what I said. See, Seth down knows. We deal with Pro E all day, so it's just like I have this thing. So the minute he said that, it was like an hour went by, and I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Well, they'll call in and give their dimensions." And all of a sudden, I was the worst guy in the world. Like, Crap's idea.
It went downhill from there, bro.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, it's a brilliant idea by me.
It is. Hey, Crap,
anyway.
I'm giving you all the credit because you're gonna get all the shit. Okay, you can enjoy that.
Crab is being a dirtbag. He really wanted to know some bra sizes and shit.
Yeah, well, no, listen. The show.
He was like, "Hey, whoever calls and shows us the biggest tits, you're the winner."
That works. I'm not gonna lie. That definitely works.
That's great.
But the only problem is that our female demographic.
The only problem is your show's at fucking 6 in the morning, and you know what I mean?
Listen,
what chick is really feeling like sexy to be like, yeah, well, right now I just have a cup of coffee in there.
I got news for you.
Golden Girls
There's a lot. Listen, there's a lot. Easy Xbot. Listen, we've got a lot of hot East Coast girls in their robes, just getting done showering, their hair in a towel, having a cup of coffee, wearing nothing but a robe. Listening to MSC mornings.
That's your fantasy.
Hold on.
That is correct.
East Coast is Boricua Central, man. Like,
absolutely.
It's PR all up the coast, man.
Absolutely. And we got Fox. Fox is letting all her Miami friends know about this. Do you understand in Miami what they wear? Very little, South, okay? It's hot down there.
Bow wow.
So hey, listen, I wanna
Hey, you know what? I don't care. You guys can wear whatever the hell you want on the East Coast because you got all that fucking humidity and that can go eat a dick.
Hey, we don't got people wearing flip flops that cover their big toe over here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have
nobody wears that shit around here.
They do in San Fran.
Wearing hippies.
They wearing cardigans.
They're fucking hippies.
Wearing cardigans, drinking their lattes. Listen.
San Francisco might as well be Seattle Junior.
If there's ever an apocalypse, San Fran's the first city to go. Okay, you heard it here first, folks. So if you're in California, run to LA. You'll make it longer.
That's right.
Absolutely. See, I got your backs out. No, listen, this show has been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun. This show kind of was just started with a little bit of news, and we just cranked out into just having a good time with friends. And I think everyone our viewers went up as the hours went on. So listen, the outs here are going to take a little bit longer because we got some MNC mornings, we got some plugs. Crap, why don't you take it away? I want to end tonight saying thanks to everybody. It's Friday night, 8 o'clock. They joined us for 2 hours and hung out with us. Thanks to the audience. Thanks to everyone who listens to us later. Crap, you got a plug? I know you got a plug.
Yeah. Like, make sure you guys go into your settings and click to get notifications for everybody's content, or click the little bell that's next to the subscribe so that you get content from the people that you like. Otherwise, you're not going to get notified. I get a lot of people messaging me now, like, you didn't put out a video? I'm like, I put out a video. Like, you got to click that thing, okay? Like, YouTube's weird. They're not notifying everybody.
Like, so you got to diddle that Skittle.
You do. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with it. You know what I mean? Like, YouTube is kind of pissing me off with that. But other than that, you guys can subscribe to my channel. We got MNC Mornings where you guys can call up right now, MC Space Mornings on Skype. Leave a voicemail. If we play your voicemail live on the air on Sunday, you got 3 minutes to call in.
One day I'm going to call and I'm just going to fart on the line.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Listen, we've quadrupled our calls. We went from 5. We're well over 20 this week. We are kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, people want to. Not only are we giving away a year live, I got a 3-month code for live. We got game giveaways. We've got.
I've got 3 different $10 Microsoft gift cards to give away. A game giveaway. I've got a ton that I haven't even given crap yet.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to give away. So call up, leave your voicemail. We're also going to do straight up call-ins to win stuff. But the voicemail one is for the year of Xbox Live.
Oh,
so. Yeah, so you're gonna have 3 minutes from the time you hear your voicemail, so you got to listen, and then if you don't, then it's gonna go to the next one, and we're not gonna be like, here comes the voicemail. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you guys, it's just good to listen and get the participation from the people, and it's so good times.
Guys,
absolutely.
I gotta say,
good plug.
And, also we're doing. But GKB is actually here, so he could do the game night plug. Oh. So yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, when it comes to the morning show, this is the freshest show on YouTube right now.
Thank you, Xbox.
With having the call-ins and everyththing like that, come with a different angle on YouTube, and
it is.
I am so glad to see that you guys are actually, front and center on this thing. It's
we have fun. We have a lot of fun with it. Like it is. It's
the thing about it is this, and I really like how you promote it. I just want to let everybody know that the thing that I'm so proud of is I'm proud of the audience. I want to thank everybody in the Xbox community and the haters. Some of the haters are in there.
But we had a hater that called, and
absolutely
they got the old flush of me.
We got toilet flush. But my point is this. But we still honored him. We respected him. My point is this: is that the audience dictates the direction of the show, and that's a big deal. It's a big deal. It lets the audience know that you're not just listening, you're actually a part of the show.
Yeah. We don't pre-screen any of that stuff. Like when Jay plays the voicemails, that's the first we hear of it, and that's the dynamic is that Mooch and I can think really fast. And so we're like, oh, that's funny. Like, hey, Jay, flush this guy. I had no clue. He was just like,
Jay, flush him.
The only clue that we had was he played a pony sound before he played that one, right? So I was like, oh, this must be a pony. Just like when She-Wolf calls in, she has her own cougar sound. So, yeah. So it's like,
you're welcome, GKB.
Yeah. It's like, wow. I know Jay was very
Hey, that was horrible, but
the reason it's so great was the day we introduced the cougar sound, though, was right after GKB knows this. It was when she was pretty pissed off in game night that night, the night before. She was not too happy.
I was like, yo, I'm out, guys. See you.
Yeah, she dropped the mic and left. No.
Hey, GKB went straight for the couch. He's like, fuck this.
Yeah, he's like,
I went to the motel, bro. I'm out.
I'm out. The motel.
He left the fucking house. He's like, I'm not even on the same block.
You need a distance.
Shit. Yeah, no, check us out at 10:45 a.m. That's awesome on Sundays. It'll be on my channel this week. Southbound, how about a plug for you, bro? Because TXR this past week was awesome.
Wow, thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, same old shit. TXR, Monday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific.
Who you guys interviewing this time? Like Phil Spencer? You're gonna have Phil and Daddy.
Hey, you know what? Hey,
President
Phil
Obama.
Spencer. Hey, Phil Spencer is an elusive son of a bitch. I gotta tell you. You know what I mean? Like, because he does press all the time, and like, I really don't want to like strain my my goodness with him and be like, you better come on. But he's always asking me, how's it going? How's the podcast going? And it's like, well, it'd be much better if you'd come on, asshole. You know what I mean? But
maybe you're not shining those shoes well enough, bro.
I guess not. They're not, you know what I mean? Fuck. I guess I gotta get some better toothpaste or something because it's spit shine. It's not, Yeah, but you can hit me up on Twitter, Southbound110. I don't really tweet a lot. I'm more of a responder type guy. You know what I mean? Because I like to feed off everybody else's energy. You know what I mean?
Hey, Mooch, did you get this tweet? Bledsoe, he messaged, he goes, I'm waiting for Boogie in the mornings, and the media give him credit for revolutionizing YouTube.
It's great.
That would be something that happened to us because we held off because we were planning this for like over a month.
Yeah.
And we were like, we can't tell anybody because as soon as people find out, people are going to jump on this and the format and all that. So that's why we did it. And
it'll definitely be mimicked soon. Just wondering how long and who will do it.
Hey, speaking of which, have you guys announced?
Goes the direct opposite. You know what I'm saying?
We haven't announced the new BGS team member yet because
we're
hoping people will tune in Sunday to find out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, I won't be around.
It's fun. The guy's great. I'm a huge fan of his, and he brings a new element. He brings a new element to the show, which is just great.
Yeah, fresh blood. He's not replacing anybody, but Showstopper is busy a lot, so we figured best to be
working his ass off.
Yeah. I mean, show's still popping in. He just when he can.
Yeah,
that's the way it is. I mean, shit. Life happens, people. You have to understand.
So tune in Sunday.
And you know what? Now I want to GKB. How about a big shout out for not just your show that you have on Tuesday nights, but everyone's just so interested in game night tomorrow. What's happening?
Oh man, we're gonna be playing some Doom.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, man, we got the private matches, so that's gonna be going down. I can't wait. We've been trying to get that on game night for I don't know how long.
Shit,
so it's finally happening.
Ever? Hell yeah, bro! I'm pumped. I am pumped, and I got Fox. If you're listening, you're on my team. She probably thought I was going to say, I'm coming after you, but no, Fox is on my team, and we're going to hunt.
Doesn't everybody fight for Fox to be on their team?
Hey, you know what? Hey, I do have to give Fox a shout out, man. Hey, that's a good ass person right there, straight up.
Oh yeah, she is.
And you know what's funny? She's really good at multiplayer games too. Like, she kicked my ass in Destiny. She kicked everybody's ass.
No, she's good. She's real good.
Her and she were both. You'll get if they're on the same team.
Them girls can game.
You're screwed.
Remember Battlefield? She was making fun of me for being in the tank all the time. I was give me the tank.
Yeah, we played Destiny. That's right. Yeah, I remember.
No, she knows her shit. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Of course, nobody's as good as me at Destiny. Run in there, start pounding people.
Yeah.
The best shit talker in the game right there.
Yeah, pounding guys.
It is funny. Oh, that's what I do. That's what I do. Oh, come on.
That's what I do. Ooh.
GKB, you got to plug your show, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. Console Corner, Tuesday nights. The best damn podcast Tuesday nights. Be on the Shop podcast on Saturday. So, yeah. And then Xbox Nation. Going to have a good time. Big shout out to She Wolf. She's part of all that crew, so.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, definitely shout out to She Wolf. She's always a big part of MC Mornings, too, and helps us out. We appreciate that. Xbot 448. What's happening with you? I know you got something cooking tomorrow, bro.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, just
hold up, Xbot. Know. I need the what's going on, people?
Hold up. Ready? What's going on, people? It's the Xbot 448.
You have that. Listen, by the way, anyone in the audience, he has that down so well that he joined last week's game night. He comes in saying that, and I thought somebody was actually playing his video over the fucking voice mic. I'm like, who the fuck's playing one of Xbox videos right now, bro? I'm like, take it easy. We're playing a game. Oh no, it's Xbox. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm in live, man. I'm in live.
Hey, you know he practices that shit in front of the mirror. Come on.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Hey, he even does his hair to do it.
No, I even the kids, man. That's how I wake them up in the morning for school. I'm like, what's going on? Get your ass up. But no, for people who know, Saturday is that is the gamers block right there. You have Next Podcast, which is me and that fabulous group of podcasters on my channel, kicking it off at 6 p.m. You have the Shop Podcast.
Now wait, hold on. Make sure you Fabulous How.
Fabulous how
in the straightest way possible.
All right, just confirming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Southbound just went all Joe Pesci on you. Funny how? Funny like what?
Southbound got in there.
You think I'm funny to you?
I'm funny like a clown? What? You think I'm funny? Joe Pesci on your ass.
But honestly, I mean, Saturday, for the hardcore gamers out there, you have two podcasts. You have, next podcast, and you have the Shop, which is, your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast right there. And then you have, Game Time, kind of topping it off at the end there with GKB and She Wolf. This Saturday, we're actually doing a first on Next Podcast. We're doing our first ever, group game review where every individual person is going to give this game their own kind of review with a score, and then we're going to put it together, and we're going to have our absolute first Next Podcast game review. So it's besides the news and everything like that, we have that going on tomorrow as well. So it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to get started, man.
Awesome, man. Listen, everybody, I can't thank everybody enough. Friday night, it's 8:17 Eastern time, the Lord's time. And I'll tell you right now.
Can I give a quick shout out, though?
Absolutely, bro.
Shout out to toilet. Chris. The homie Chris. You know what I'm talking about, Mooch.
Absolutely. Chris awesome dude.
Yeah. He's the one that gave out the code from fucking TXR last week. And, it got so mumbled, I didn't even get a chance to shout him out for even shooting the code out to whoever got it. So I wanted to make sure that he was represented and, let him know that I thanked him personally on air.
Awesome stuff.
Awesome,
good stuff. I thought you were going to start shouting out your toilet and stuff.
Real quick, hey, Chicken, my gameplay, man, not the Don's. All right, it's about my gameplay on Saturday, man. Come on.
Man, jeez. All right, let me end this before it gets out of hand with the chat. Here's the thing. I want to say, everybody, thank you so much. Friday nights to come out and hang out with us. We were just at under 300 people live at one point in time. There's still a lot of people that popped in and out. Can't thank everyone
Hit that
enough.
like button. I know Mooch is going to ask about it.
I don't ask people, but if you want to hit that like button,
hit that goddamn like button.
Enjoy it. Hit that like button, people. No, thanks to Brutal for coming on. Rand will be on next week. Rand does a shout out, and he hit me up. He said he's got a lot of shit going on, but he will be on next week. And the usual suspects will be back as well. Listen, GKB, thanks for coming on, being a special guest tonight.
Oh, yeah. The governor.
Honor, man.
The governor knows what he's talking about. We didn't even get back into our real debate, but we'll save that for Xbox Nation because that'll be hot.
I need the rest, bro.
Mooch says to GKB, you don't like indies, so stop pretending like you like indies.
Yo, listen, I'll be honest
Then
with
I got
you.
triggered, bro, and it was like,
He did get triggered. But, I loved it. I love the discussion. A debate is why we're always here. I do want to say, everybody, don't forget, tune into my channel, 10:45 a.m. Sunday. Subscribe if you will. If not, just tune in for the day. M&C mornings, lots of giveaways, lots of excitement. The audience rules the show. Thank you, everybody. CrossFire will be back next week. Don't forget BGST on Sunday. Everyone gave their plug. We'll see you next Friday. Good night, everybody.